All right, and we are live for better or for worse. Hey, everybody, this is Matthew from Nerd News Today. Thanks for tuning in live as we talk San Diego Comic Con 2019. Now, just for all you guys watching at home, you might notice that your chat is not showing up on the side. That's because there's a little bit of an error with the service that I'm using, rather. And I can't seem to get it to actually pop up for now, but I do have the chat open up in another window that I can look at. So if you guys do have anything you want to say, go ahead, talk to me in the chat, and I will read it over there, and I'll get to your comments as soon as I can. So, welcome to Nerd News Today. If it's your first time here and you're joining us just because of the San Diego Comic Con reveals and all that good stuff, this channel here covers all sorts of toy news, movies, comics, pretty much everything in between in the world of geekiness and nerdiness and all that good stuff. And of course, San Diego Comic Con 2019 is happening right now on the other coast. We are based out of New York, and San Diego Comic Con obviously is in California. So we're not there, but we're going to still cover this stuff because so much happened. And already, it's only basically the end of day one, and there's been a ton of things happening. So we got a few reveals already, and we've looked at a bunch of things on the channel. You can see there's a bunch of videos already uploaded that we did earlier today of many of the things that basically, I guess you could say, things I'm most interested in. But it's not even true because we haven't even covered other booths yet, like Mezco. We haven't really talked much about McFarlane Toys, which we're going to do here tonight. There's a whole bunch of other things we haven't looked at yet, and it's hard to look at everything, but that's what tomorrow's for, because we got a whole day ahead of us with even more stuff to talk about. So for now, I guess let's go ahead and get things started. And I think the first thing I actually want to talk about is going to be this piece of news right here, which is about Alan Moore. Now, this is actually indirectly Comic Con related. It just happens to tie in terms of the dates. But Alan Moore has officially retired from comic books now. So that is some big news. Now, Moore actually said that back in 2016, and it was basically once he finished the current League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he was going to hang up the gloves, if you will, for good for writing comics. And now that the book is basically just about finished, he is staying true to those comments. So once that wraps up, that's the end. No more comic books from Moore. Now, that doesn't mean he's done writing at all. He does plan on writing still novels, screenplays, other things. He's got plenty of other creative juice inside him. He's just going to be using that juice for something else. So, this is not a big surprise because, again, he talked about it a few years ago. And, we know how unhappy he's been in a lot of ways with the comic genre. Since, this is a guy that really, he did a lot to change how comic books are looked at and how we read comic books. But there's also the downside because he hasn't liked, I guess you could say, the commercialization of his work in particular. A great example of that would be The Watchmen, or well, especially actually talking about the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That was a real big stinker, if you will. That's something he's stepped far, far away from. He's done a lot of really great things, and a lot of that work has not translated well to other mediums, and so he's kind of gotten smeared a lot for that. And I know he hasn't been happy about it either. He's had a lot of ups and downs in his career and how he has approached comics and comic writing. And, I think at this point he's accomplished enough that he can do whatever he wants. He could walk away and it's not a big deal. He can move on and, he will definitely be missed. But he's left such an indelible mark in comics to begin with that, the impact will be heard for generations to come. And it still is. I mean, you could look at his work now. You can take Miracle Man, in fact, still very relevant. It might be the slightest bit of dated just because of outfits and some lingo and some of the things you might see in the background, but really his work still holds up. It's very modern work. His contemporaries have a lot to work on to reach the same level that Alan Moore has done. But he's done so much, and hats off to him for such a great career. It's sad to see him go on one hand, but on the other hand, what more can you accomplish? He's done it all. So at this point, I guess now he is looking again towards TV, film, novels. So that's really the next realm of things that he can accomplish, is moving away from what people know him from, more or less, and expanding into these other realms of writing and being creative. So, that, and also he's a practicing magician of some kind, so he can work on that more. He's going to have a lot more time now to work on all of his magical abilities. So, very cool. Congratulations to Alan Moore for hanging it up and knowing when to move on and work on other things. So, let's go ahead and talk about another fun little thing that's happening, and that is, let's see, what should we talk about, guys? I got a whole bunch of things here to actually talk about. In fact, I'm going to send a note, see if I can get some folks in here to join us. See if we can get some other of the folks who usually contribute to this channel. Unfortunately, since we're not really in the proper studio today, can't really be joined by anybody. So, we'll do our best to get some folks in here, maybe in the chat room, and talk to us. But for now, it's us, it's me, it's you guys. So let's go ahead move on to something else, and let's discuss Game of Thrones, because this is actually a pretty hot story right now. So this particular article is from IO9, and the creators of Game of Thrones have decided to not show up to San Diego Comic Con. So this is a pretty last minute announcement in that it basically happened yesterday. They were supposed to be part of a big panel with a bunch of other Game of Thrones people, including a lot of the actors involved in the show, other production people, and yeah, David Benioff and DB Weiss were supposed to be at the show, and they just happened to have a schedule conflict, and that prevented them from coming to the thing that they agreed to do how many months ago. So I think it doesn't take too much of a leap to wonder, hey, did these guys decide to not show up because they didn't want to show up and get all sorts of insults from fans, or do they actually have something to do? Which they, to be fair, could actually have something to do, but again, why would you commit to something that far in advance to then just say, meh, never mind, we're not going to do it? It's a big disappointment. But again, you're still going to have most of the other stars there. In fact, the article goes on to mention Maisie Williams will be there. A few other people will be there. And I do have to kind of wonder how the crowd is going to react to hearing that these two people in particular, who had so much investment in the show, that they're not going to be there. You got to wonder, is there going to be a riot on hand in Hall H? I don't think it's going to be that crazy, of course. That's kind of blowing it out of proportion. But there certainly is a chance that some stuff can go on, and they're going to miss out on hearing some feedback from the fans, the folks that watch it the most. And hey, Vinny just joined us in the chat. Vinny, the wrestling figure historian, he's here with us. And we're going to look at wrestling toys in a little bit. I think once we get through some news and some other toys. Vinny, are you going to stick with us and talk with us wrestling toys? So yeah, in the meantime, Game of Thrones, since Game of Thrones is over, really, I don't see the point of not showing up to this thing. I mean, the vitriol doesn't even matter at this point. No matter how angry the fans might be, you're not making any new episodes. You moved on to other things. I think it is kind of a cowardly thing not to show up, just like Vinny said in the chat. It's unfortunate, but let's see. Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but it's their loss really, and it kind of is going to alienate them from the fans a little bit, which it already has. I mean, they've clearly already kind of alienated themselves from things. Now it's just going to get a little bit worse. So let's go ahead and talk about some other bits of news here, and this one I'm very, very excited about. So the Toys That Made Us. We finally have seen a trailer for this next season of The Toys That Made Us. We've interviewed Brian Volkweiss a bunch of times on this YouTube channel. We've spoken to him a few times, as well as some other contributors who have worked on this, like Brian Stillman. And we knew that Brian did have a panel at San Diego Comic-Con. He really couldn't tell us too much about what was going on there, but he did speak to me privately after our thing, kind of let me know a few things, and the fact there's going to be some other stuff they're working on. But again, we knew the Toys That Made Us Season 3 was going to happen. We just didn't know when. It was something that they were kind of keeping very quiet, and it wasn't because they wanted to keep it quiet. It's mostly because they had to keep it quiet, because Netflix was kind of, Netflixing, and ultimately Netflix has control of what news gets out there, what announcements they're going to make, what they're going to do with shows, and anybody who knows Netflix and their drama as a company knows that they're very secretive, they're very tight-lipped. Like for example, they don't release ratings of anything. So they don't really tell us much information about anything out there. They don't give numbers, but they say, oh, this show's doing great, this show's not doing great, whatever. We don't really know the truth of what the matter is. But anyway, the point is, we finally now have our first look at the Toys That Made Us Season 3. Hey, little Eve, thanks for joining us. So, the Toys That Made Us Season 3, IO9 actually had the official trailer for the third season, but they had to take it down. So I was lucky enough to actually catch it earlier in the day while it was still live. And just so you guys know, Season 3 of the Toys That Made Us, as you can read right there in the article, it's going to cover My Little Pony, it's going to cover wrestling toys, it's going to cover Power Rangers, and I always forget the third one. I always forget the fourth one, rather. My Little Pony, Power Rangers, I'm sure we'll figure it out later on. But, they do a lot of really great work, and I'm really, really looking forward to the wrestling toys episode in particular. They showed some graphics for that. It looks really great. There's so much history. There's a lot of stuff that they couldn't do out there. So we're gonna see soon. I don't know if they actually put out a release date yet. I should also add. I just know they showed a trailer for it. The trailer did look very good. It's very cool. All you can see, unfortunately, right now is that gentleman right there in the thumbnail who is playing the Dragon Dagger. And man, I gotta say, as far as the editing goes for this new trailer for the new season, if it's any indication of what the rest of the show is going to look like, it is really, really, really good looking. So that's really exciting news. So, hopefully in a few more months we'll actually be able to finally see the third season, and hopefully many seasons after. But for folks out there who are fans of this particular show of the toys that made us, and yes, Wisefire, Andrea's here joining us right now. Ninja Turtles, I believe, is also on it. So thank you. That is, I believe, number 4. Thank you so much. So folks that love the toys that made us, they're gonna probably love this other project because Brian Volkweiss just announced this today as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this up. I just lost my background. Here we go. This was announced via Deadline officially, but they did show, I believe, something at San Diego Comic-Con as well. Brian Volkweiss and the Nacelle Company is now making the movies that made us. So they're doing another, I believe it's 4 episodes again, 4-episode series for at least the first season of the movies that made us. And it's really great news, and mostly because it's got a lot of the movies I really want to see. In fact, let's see, I think we can see down here, if you look towards the bottom of the article, you'll see that the first 4 movies that they're doing are Die Hard, Home Alone, Dirty Dancing, and Ghostbusters. So right there, that's just like a powerhouse bunch of movies. That's so cool. And I know Brian Volkweiss is a big Ghostbusters fan also. It's unfortunate he couldn't make it to Ghostbusters Fan Fest because I'm sure he would have loved to have told us there this was going to happen. But those 4 movies just alone are like so iconic, and I'm very excited to see what kind of treatment he's going to give to those films and how the series is going to look. We've seen what he does with the toys that made us, so it can only get better, really. And, I wish him much luck and success. I'll be watching the show. So let's move on. Now that actually Andrea is here, Andrea, this one is for you. Let's talk Batman Beyond. So Andrea actually is the one that told me about this, and so I had to, of course, talk about it. So Batman Beyond is finally coming to Blu-ray. Up until now, it's only been available on DVD, but now we're finally getting a proper Blu-ray release, and I believe it's also going to be remastered. So you're going to be able to see this in all of its glory, the way it was intended to be, and it's going to be released in this really cool set that you're seeing right now in front of you. So, surprisingly enough, according to the article that we got from IO9, the Blu-ray box set is only going to be $100. So, that's pretty shocking. Like, when I read that there was 52 episodes of the show, I actually thought there were more for some reason in my head, but $100 is a pretty great value for this Blu-ray and the digital codes, of course. But you're not just getting the Blu-ray of the entire series. You're also going to be getting, if you take a look there on the bottom right corner, 4 lenticular prints, and you're also getting an exclusive Batman Beyond Funko Pop, which is going to have this kind of like, not quite chrome, but it's kind of like a shiny finish to it, kind of a glossy finish. So, that's very cool. I've actually been holding off on buying this, and also the Batman animated series stuff, and I really should just jump on and get them right now. And Andrea's very happy to see that, and so is Vinny. So that's great. Let's all chip in and just, we'll share the Blu-rays. Why don't we just do that? We'll make our lives a lot easier. We'll just share them between the 3 of us. It's fine. So that's some really cool piece of news there. And, if anybody out there hasn't been reading the Batman Beyond comic by DC, I actually recommend it. I'm going to probably talk about it in a separate video at some other point. But that's a really good book that a lot of folks aren't even reading. So, yes, and Andrea is correct there. It's, the 3 seasons and Return of the Joker. So you're getting the movie as well. That movie, Return of the Joker, up until probably like The Dark Knight came out, that was, like, in my opinion, the best Batman movie, period. Including live action and all animated. I mean, Mask of the Phantasm, don't get me wrong, was amazing. But Return of the Joker, I just thought that was so good. There's a lot of hype behind it, and I think the hype is legit. So if you haven't actually watched The Return of the Joker, you really should get on that. You don't know what you're missing with that one. So, since Andrea's here, I got one other piece of news that she's going to really, 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 really like, and I'm going to hate. But, meow, 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 folks. Let's talk about this. Now, this is indirectly San Diego Comic-Con related, and that is the trailer for Cats was released today. Yuck. All right, so where do we begin with this? I'm just like looking at the images, and my head is already as baffled and confounded by what we're looking at. So we heard about this some time ago when they first made the announcement that Cats was going to become a movie for the first time ever. Like, there was a movie version of the Broadway production that was done in the 90s. That's been out there for a while. You can easily find that on YouTube, in fact, if you really want to see it. But all of a sudden, we got this news that someone else is going to make Cats. There's going to be this giant production with CGI cats. No one really knew what to expect. And today, the first trailer has dropped. And, I mean, there's Rebel Wilson as a cat. Just look at that. Just look at that. And I actually really do want you to look at that one in particular because the folks aren't actually wearing any cat suits whatsoever. They're all just using, the green suits, green screens. And you can kind of really see that here, especially, in fact, in this picture right here of Jennifer Hudson. The CG, the visual effects here, are just, there's Uncanny Valley, and then there's this. This is like the Uncanny Meowie, I guess. Yeah, Megazord HQ. Cats is it's kind of creepy. It's kind of fun. I got a little older and I was able to appreciate it, but first time even just seeing it, it's like it is kind of jarring. Andrew Lloyd Webber is into that kind of creepy stuff. I guess that's just his thing. But yes, Andrea, this trailer is totally nightmare fuel. But I really just want to have everybody focus in on those images right here to look at this. And it's like the CG is impressive. It's really cool what they've accomplished, but something's not gelling with this. And it just seems that it's kind of like it might remind you guys of Will Smith as the genie when the first trailer for that showed up, and we saw how the visual effects were going to look, and it didn't work. Or even better example is Sonic the Hedgehog. When they showed the first trailer for Sonic, the internet destroyed it, and the creators were like, you know what, it's so bad, we're going to go back and we're going to fix this thing up. So there's something going on with CG today where it's like that uncanny valley, that ability to make things look so real that they're not real. They haven't figured things out. They need to like pull the CG back almost. It's like you need to make CG that's a little bit cruder to almost make it better, if you can believe it. I don't really know what it is. I mean, I think that's the only answer. And again, looking at this, so this is a screenshot of it. You can actually see that I think what they're showing in the trailer is not actually finished renders, because if you take a look at that shadow by Rebel Wilson Cat's leg, that's really round. And same thing with her face. It really just looks like it was slapped onto someone else. Like, and again, this Jennifer Hudson is just like the worst. This is the absolute worst image in the entire trailer. It just literally looks like they mapped like their faces to another actor's body doing all this stuff. It doesn't look right at all. Are we going to see the movie? Oh, yeah, we're going to probably see the movie because I want to see how bad this is. It looks like it's going to be a big budget piece of garbage. But I think we have to see it because it's our big budget piece of garbage. So that's Cats. Let's never talk about that again. How about that, guys? All right, so why don't we go ahead and start talking about some toys here. And let's see. So I've got a bunch of things we can talk about. So I'm going to let you guys help me out here, and you could make some choices. I might just pop something at random while we talk. But today I've already covered a few things on the site. I've got a few things here in the doc that we haven't discussed yet. And I'm going to go ahead and get away from this Cats images because that's really creepy. So we can talk Power Rangers. We can talk WWE figures. We can talk He-Man. We've got some Turtle stuff from NECA. I've got Super 7 toys we can look at. Overwatch things. I'm actually going to put up the Overwatch stuff while we make a decision in the chat room. But yeah, again, bunch of McFarlane stuff as well. So, those are your options. Think about what you want, and we'll start talking about those. But for now, let's take a look at Overwatch, since we're going to jump into toy reveals now. And Hasbro, of course, is at San Diego Comic-Con, and they've got a lot of things there, including the aforementioned Power Rangers toys, which I'm sure we'll get to at some point tonight. But here is a quick look at the Overwatch figures, and there's Junkrat. So this is Series 2 of their Overwatch series. Series 1 had a bunch of really cool figures, a lot of 2-packs, the deluxe Reinhardt figure, stuff I haven't bought yet, but I'm meaning to. And Series 2 has cemented that even further with some really great figures I wasn't expecting, and some I was hoping for. Now I've got them. As well as a few new repaints. And speaking of, here is Lucy 000 in his new repaint. We're going to get now a pink version of Lucio, pink and blue. So, that was kind of the big thing for me with Overwatch Series 1 of the figures, is a lot of them I just didn't like the paint decos. But after all, this is Overwatch, we know that's a game all about skins. So it only made perfect sense that eventually we get something like this. We get, some really cool toys in here that are basically giving them the decos that we want to have. Now, in this case, I'm not a fan of this particular Pharah. And some of the other color schemes you're going to see in there, not necessarily a big fan of those. The Genji you're going to see in a little bit. Like, there's the Genji, in fact. I don't really like his colors at all that much either. And there's a Zarya next to him that I didn't like really either. But overall, there's actually some really, really cool ones here. And I'm actually, you're going to see later on this different Zarya that I really, really like. It's more in her original colors. Hey, Megazord HQ. Yes. Yeah, we're going to probably jump to Power Rangers in a few minutes, I think. How about that? We'll go through the Overwatch stuff real quick, then we'll jump over there. So we got, there's the Zarya, which is in the color scheme that I don't like. But next to that is the Diva, who I think looks actually really good. That's not her original color scheme. None of these are the original color schemes. But I actually kind of like this Diva a lot. And something I've talked with Andrea about a lot is how Hasbro does their female action figures, and how typically neither of us really like the bodies that they make for those figures. So this one in particular here, I think it looks pretty good. Like, it's, and this is actually a really cool thing about the Overwatch toys in general and Overwatch as a game. Everybody's design is so unique that, with the toys, you really can't recycle parts. every single toy you make has to be a completely new sculpt from top to bottom. So with Diva, for example, over there we just saw, her body is brand new. With Zarya, it's brand new. Farah, Ana, they're all brand new sculpts. And that's really cool. So you get to have, things that look very unique to them, and I like that. And I think that they've gotten the proportions very right for a lot of these characters. Most of whom are already, they're not really twigs. Like, a lot of the Hasbro female characters are kind of twiggish, whereas, Overwatch has some skinnier characters, if you will, or slimmer characters, but they're not twig-like. So these actually look like they're more realistic, which is bizarre to say coming from a video game. So here's a look at the other Genji and Hanzo, rather. And I do like this version of Genji a lot. And same thing with the Hanzo. I'm liking this Hanzo very much, too. He's got a really cool ultimate you can see on his bow and arrow, and they all have some kind of special effect, if you will, to go with their toys. Now here is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Reinhardt figure, and he's currently doing the hammer down. I'm really, really liking these guys here. In particular, this Reinhardt, I like that he's unmasked. The other Reinhardt does not have that ability. He's just basically the normal helmet. It's just the normal silver. It's what you get when you start the game. This version is camouflaged. I think it looks way, way cooler, and it's just really nice to see the hammer as well. Man, yeah, I've seen this guy in stores. He's a big boy. This is a $50 item right here, and it's enormous. Mostly because the shield he comes with is, like, bigger than he is. But it has to, because it has to protect all the other figures in the lineup. So that's a really, really cool figure. I'm surprised that they didn't show off any other deluxe figures just yet. But, again, if they're making Diva, her mech can't be too far away, right? So I think we'll see that pretty soon as well. Here is McCree. This is McCree in his base outfit that you get when you first play the game. McCree voiced by Matthew Mercer, who is like the biggest nerd out there, who makes a living off being a big nerd, so way to go. And it's a really cool McCree too, but there's actually another McCree figure we're going to see in a little bit that I think is way, way better. Here's Junkrat, and next to him is the Zarya in her normal attire, which I think is really, really great. That's the one I like. I don't like that silver metal thing. I think this one looks way better. It's pretty great looking. And same for the Junkrat, actually. I do like this Junkrat a lot, but I might hold out for a different deco of him. But yeah, he does have the tire on his back, and I'm pretty sure that tire is going to come off. And something else, of course, I want to mention here is those laser effects, if you will. Basically, every character has some kind of effect that attaches them. I don't know if Junkrat does, actually, but you can see here that Zarya does. Lucio has his skates. They all have some kind of translucent plastic that'll attach to the toys in some way, either the weapon or on the person. In the case of Lucio, it's his feet. I think he might also have something for his sound blaster as well, but don't quote me on that. But they all have something that's really cool and, again, really unique to them, and that's like the best thing about these Overwatch toys. There's all something unique with each figure. Stay hydrated, and sponsor us, Poland Spring. Sponsor us. So here you go. Here's now the white McCree, and this is the McCree I actually like much, much more than the other one I saw. I just think it looks better for some reason. Don't know why. Just to me, it appeals to me more. And same with the Tracer that is next to him. So Tracer was also a part of Series 1, and here she is now for this next wave. I think she's going to be a 2-pack with McCree in these white outfits, and she has golden guns as well, which I think is really awesome. This to me, just for whatever reason, I like this look way more. And Tracer is like the most common figure I've seen out there from this line. I've seen her a lot in places. Her and Sombra, they seem to be like the peg warmers. I don't know, but I didn't really like the Tracer that much, even though I like the base outfit that she normally is in. But I think this is what I was waiting for, and same with the McCree. So I think that's going to be my first pickups. So that's pretty much our quick look at Overwatch. If you want to hear me ramble a little bit more in depth, there is a separate video on this channel, so you guys can go ahead and check that out whenever you'd like. But let's talk Power Rangers now. Since we're at Hasbro, let's go give a visit over to Power Rangers, and let's take a look at this right here. And Andrea, I know if you're still here, you're going to be happy with what you see. So we're getting a 2-pack from the Lightning Collection. This is now part of the Lightning Collection Series 2. And we're getting a 2-pack with Tommy, the Green Ranger, and a Putty Patroller, who you are going to see momentarily. So they're calling this 2-pack Fighting Spirit Green Ranger, because this is intended to be Tommy when I guess he was still possessed by Rita Repulsa, or still under her control in some capacity. And so here is the Putty Patroller, and you're going to see him in a few other photos here. He has a bunch of different hands. So you can see he's got one hand that's just his normal claw fingers, or normal, it's a putty. I mean, how normal is a putty? And then he has this really sharp, pointy hand. But in this photo here, you see that he's got the Stone Fist, which I always thought was pretty fun. And again, you can see a little bit more of the accessories that the Green Ranger comes with. We're taking a look here at his sword, his energy effects. They both, much like the Overwatch figures, have that really cool energy effect, which I love on toys. I think more toys should have that when possible. Granted, we can't do that with wrestling toys, but I wish we could, right, Vinny? So there's your Green Ranger. Here's another look at the putty. And I just want to do a quick shout out, by the way, since we're doing this, I haven't done it yet. And now that we're getting into the toys, you're going to see a lot of pictures that are clearly not from us. They are from various other sites. In this particular case, this image was from marvelousnews.com. But we also sourced images from Toy News Eye and Toy Arc. Now, when we took the images, we didn't cut out their watermarks. And we also didn't take every single image from their photo galleries. So if you're liking the photos that you see, remember to make sure where that watermark is and go visit their site because they have lots of the photos that we're not using. And you should go check out their stuff because they're the ones who are the source of this information. They deserve the hits. We're just kind of using them for our own benefit at the moment. So do check them out. So here's the Green Ranger. And you can see now, again, you can see the Dragon Dagger in its holster in this picture. And Fighting Spirit pack. Yeah, thank you, Megazord. Fighting Spirit. You can see the Dragon Dagger in his holster. And you can see the unhelmeted Tommy head. Now, maybe Megazord HQ, you can tell me since you're the Power Ranger expert here. Is that a different head that's on Tommy? Because I know the White Ranger had a head already that was unmasked. Are they recycling it? Do you happen to know? Is it like a different hair at the very least? If you happen to know the answer, let me know in the chat, please. So here again is a look at our 2-pack, and we're about to move out to some of the other figures, which is actually going to be Series 1 we're going to be looking at first. So we're going to kind of rehash some of the Series 1 figures in a few moments. Megazord HQ says the only real difference between this and the original is the silver mark on his helmet. Alright, good to know. So again, here's our putty, close-up shot of the putty. Something I was talking about in the video I did earlier about these Power Ranger toys is I think the putties are going to be great for army building, but the downside is the only way to get the putties is in this 2-pack. So if you wanted to build a whole militia, if you will, of putty patrollers with the various hand attachments, you have to buy a whole bunch of 2-packs, which means there's going to be a lot of leftover Green Rangers, I guess. I mean, what do you do there? I mean, for the Power Ranger collectors out there, I'm kind of curious how you solve that problem, because I imagine if you have a Power Ranger, especially if you have a bunch of MMPR figures, you want to have some figure photography, let's say, and you need to get a bunch of putties. Are you going to keep buying like 5 or 6 2-packs just to get that bunch of putties? And then what do you do with the extra Green Rangers? I mean, I feel like once that toy comes out, we're going to have a whole bunch of Green Rangers on eBay up for sale for really cheap, just because people are going to probably end up doing that just to get that putty patroller. That's just my opinion. So we're looking now at a few of the Series 1 figures, which are on display as well. You just saw the Shadow Ranger. Here is a Red Ranger figure. I don't really keep up with the Power Rangers too much. I know Megazord HQ is here, and Megazord, you can tell us any details you would like to tell us about these toys, because I could use all the help here. But one thing I do love about this Red Ranger figure is all the weapons here. Megazord, you're probably more dedicated than I am, because I've missed a bunch of the new ones. So, anything you could tell me about any of the stuff you see here is, of course, helpful. Appreciate it. So again, here is another Putty Patroller picture. We're going to go back to the Series 1 figures momentarily. For you guys out there, I am new to this live streaming thing, and the particular software that I'm using, for some reason, with what I'm using on Macs, it doesn't have the next button. I can't just hotkey that. It's really bizarre. Alright, this one is for you, Andrea, because I know you're still out there. Pink Ranger, Amy Jo Johnson as Kimberly the Pink Ranger. We're getting a Lightning Edition figure of her. Lightning Series Pink Ranger. And it's going to have a unhelmeted sculpt of her as well. And you can see in this picture there is the bow and arrow. She has an additional set of hands. And here's another shot of that. So she has a normal arrow. But as we saw in that photo, she also has the energy effect of the arrow, which is basically, I think, from the show, if I remember correctly, when she shoots it off at her enemies or whatever. So that's a really nice little touch, and she is a world debut at San Diego Comic-Con, which means I'm assuming that over the next 5 waves, we're going to get the rest of the figures one by one, perhaps? Don't know, but I'm very excited to see this figure, and I think it looks really good. And, to be honest, now that we're seeing the rest of these figures come out and they're unmasked, I might start buying these. I passed up all of the Bandai ones they were doing before this, whatever that series was called. I passed on all of those because I just, I like Bandai figures, but they weren't really calling to me. But the fact that Hasbro is doing these unhelmeted heads, that to me is the difference maker, and that makes me want to get these. And here's a better look at that likeness of Amy Jo Johnson. I think it's actually very good. This photo probably doesn't do it justice. I've seen some other better photos of it, which I didn't put here. Should have. But I think this sculpt is really, really pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Again, here is another one from Series 1. This is from Power Rangers Zeo. Now, I'm pretty sure it's from Power Rangers Zeo. Now, when Zeo happened, I basically stopped watching, so I really couldn't tell you much about this other than underneath it is Jason David Frank. Megazord is telling me that the Bandai collection was called the Legacy Collection. Yes, thank you very much for that one. I'm glad we got a Power Ranger collector in here to help us out with this particular section. Here is Lord Zed again from Series 1. He was, I think, like the really big one when they first announced these at Toy Fair. He was like the first one, I think, to really pick up steam. Like the White Ranger people liked, but people really wanted a great looking Lord Zed, and this figure here totally accomplished that. And to be honest, I've seen him at GameStops and other stores, and I still question buying it. And I don't want to get into this necessarily that deep, but I mean, looking at some of these, like, the nostalgia ones in particular, the ones that I grew up with, seeing them and Lord Zed, I'm having a tough time saying no. I mean, if they made a Rita Repulsa, then I'm all in. Forget it. It's over. But I don't know if they're going to go that deep. We'll have to wait and see on that one. So here we go. I believe now this is. Is that one? I think that's one of the new ones that we're going to look at here. Yes, I think that's the Beast Morphers Red Ranger. I think. I'm trying to remember from which ones. We're going to see other photos. But Megazord's saying that the Tommy head is exactly the same as the other one. All right. So that's what I was thinking too. I had a feling they were like identical. It makes sense. I mean, it's just a repaint top to bottom, so that does make perfect sense. Again, here is from Series 1. Which one is this? I think this was like the Dino Rangers. Something like that. Oof. There's so many Power Rangers, I really can't keep up with it. And Megazord HQ has pointed out there was a 15-inch Beast Morphers Ultra Zord. I didn't actually bring any photos out in here. I really couldn't find any I liked. But I did see some out there, and that thing is, 15 inches. It's huge. It looks mammoth. It's pretty cool looking. Are you going to be picking that up for yourself, Megazord? And over here, I just included this image because I just like, this is the Shadow Ranger. I don't even know what show he's from, but it's basically like a furry Power Ranger. I mean, that's his alter ego. All right, so here we go. Here's Series 2 now. This is the Beast Morpher Red Ranger. He's flying through the air with an action stand, which I think looks really great. Megazord says, not toy news, but Power Rangers at their panel showed a team-up episode for the Beast Morpher Season 2, featuring Beast Morphers with Mighty Morphin, Dino Thunder, and Dino Charge. Ooh, wow, that sounds pretty interesting. I'm going to see if there's any leaks of that yet. Here is the Magna Defender from Lost Galaxy. Now, this is a figure that I'm actually, again, not a big Power Ranger fan. Not to say I didn't like it, but just, not a hardcore. And especially during this era when this show came out, I was not watching at all. But I was very familiar with Lost Galaxy for some reason, and I knew the Magna Defender just because, like, he looked so unique. Whenever I happened to see him on TV, I was like, what is that? So I ended up just learning about him just based on channel surfing, essentially. So the Magna Defender, I gotta say, he looks really good. This, to me, is the standout of Series 2. Don't get me wrong. I think the Pink Ranger is amazing. I think the Green Ranger is pretty cool, too. But I really like the Magna Defender, and I also really like this figure here. Now, I don't know anything about Beast Morphers, but this is the Beast Morphers Gold Ranger figure. And I just think this looks really cool as a figure on its own. Not knowing anything at all about the show, about what this guy does, I think it looks really, really good. You're going to see a few other photos of this guy, and you'll see why I think that. But just top to bottom, there's, by the way, his accessories. He comes with 2 different weapons. He has the unmasked head of Nate Silva, and he has a spare set of hands as well. But, if I just saw this in a toy store, I just would think it's really cool looking. You can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but that's just a good-looking toy. That's just a good-looking action figure. And, sometimes that's just what I want when I buy toys. I just want something that looks good. And here is an unmasked head of that. So, Megazord, maybe you can tell us how good is the likeness on this particular head? Do you think it captures the guy who plays the Gold Ranger here? Let us know, please. So, I also just like those boots, by the way. Totally weird thing to say, but I just think those look really nice. So I'm going to take a little bit, another swig of water. Swig for the working man. So again, you can see what I mean by how just nice these things look as toys, especially with him holding the helmet in his other hand. I think that's just, it's a really nice looking figure, like, I don't want to buy these. I really don't, but this makes things very tempting. I don't even watch the show when I want to get these. Like, how bad is that? Yeah, Megazord agrees it is a good head sculpt. All right, so I'll take that. And, keep in mind, too, what you're seeing here are prototypes. These are not production samples. So, things will vary when we get to the finish line. And things are also going to vary based on who took the photos. So we're assuming that the people who took these photos did a good job. I think some of these, you can see there's a flash bulb in this one, so that kind of kills things. It kind of flattens things out a little bit. As we're going to see in some other pictures later on. So, just keep that in mind. It's always good to check for other sources and other photographers. And that's also why, I'm saying check out Toy News Eye, check out Toy Arc, check out all the various places that we're using photos from so you can see other pictures and, well, in this case, literally get the full picture of every toy that we're looking at here. And there's the head for Devin Daniels. That's the Beast Morphers, the Red Ranger. Again, I think, not knowing what it looks like, I just think it's a good-looking head sculpt. I think it's got really cool features, and that's also one of the accessories with him. Megazord has just told us as well that mid-August is going to be the release date, according to Hasbro Pulse. The evil Hasbro Pulse website that is getting all the cool toys. So that's going to be our quick look at Power Rangers. And again, there's the Green Ranger. So why don't we jump over to, let's see if Vinny's still here. Let's talk WWE. And this is going to be a rough one because these are. I'm going to try and actually breeze through the WWE figures a little bit because we got so many to go through. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little change up right now. And make this go a little bit quicker for us. All right, here we go. So we're going to take a look now at the WWE figures from Mattel. And again, hoping Vinny's still with us because he can tell us a lot more details about these than I can. Like, I'm a big wrestling figure fan. I buy tons of these things. But he can actually tell you exact matches and dates and all that kind of crazy information because that's why he is the wrestling figure historian. So this is that giant display case that Mattel has every time. And yeah, Vinny's still here. All right, so this is good. You're going to be excited now because, if you guys saw, we did a San Diego Comic-Con 2019 prediction video of what we're going to hope to see. And we got a lot of things right. We got plenty of things wrong too, but we got a lot of things right as well. So yes, Andrea, we're very screwed. We're both screwed because we're going to lose a lot of money here. So you can already see like this giant wall here. A lot of this is stuff that is out, but a lot of it is brand spanking new. And in this case, there's elites and basics, I believe. Actually, let's see. Actually, this might just be a wall of elites. I think the other one might have been or rather the other side might have been the basics. But so here we go. Here's one of the authors of Pain, and they're coming with kendo sticks. We're getting both members of the authors of Pain. They each have a kendo stick, but you'll see what the other one has in a few photos from here. And yeah, Megazord, WB always releases a ton of figures every year. They really, really do. It's kind of funny, we talk about this every year after Toy Fair, how they show off more at like San Diego Comic-Con than they do at like Toy Fair. For whatever reason, this is how they do it. So here's Mustafa Ali basic. He's going to get 2 basics because he's getting the variant chase figure this time around. So 2 Mustafa Alis. Here are the other authors of Pain, or rather both authors of Pain together. And so you can see what I'm talking about now with the kendo sticks. So I always forget who's who, but one of them is coming with a broken kendo stick. That's like the first time they've ever done that. Like, Jax has made kendo sticks, but never one that's actually broken. Like, that's really great. So over here now, throat's already dying, folks. Over here we have the new Daniel Bryan with a basic and a new AJ Styles. Now, I'm really, really happy about the new Daniel Bryan heads. I think these look spectacular. The AJ, it's a head we've gotten a bunch of times already. And we've already gotten blue AJ like 35 times. I don't think we need any more blue AJs. Granted, I just bought like Elite 66 AJ, which is blue, but who am I to say? So there's the Iconics. I think this is actually going to be a single release of them, because I think they're getting a 2-pack already. I think this might be new versions of them as single figures. And Megazord, AOP has kendo sticks because they've used them in the past. They beat people up with them, so yeah, at least I'm pretty sure. Vinny can let you know for sure, but I'm pretty sure they've used them before. I feel like I've seen them use them, in fact. So I think it's still really cool to have a busted up one. So here is Peyton Royce. We just saw Billy Kay before. There's Billy Kay. I'm really digging the Iconics work, and here's something actually just really important to say right off the bat, by the way. This year at San Diego Comic-Con, the women wrestlers have really taken storm. Like, there is a lot more women wrestler toys than there have been in previous years. You're going to see that when we get to our other panel reveals a little bit later on. There's a ton. So here is Drake Maverick now. So Drake, for the line that he's going to be in, he is going to be the Chase variant, and this is the Authors of Pain version of Drake Maverick, meaning that it's him in his ballistic gear and his SWAT vest or flak vest, whatever you want to call that. It's going to be him in those different outfits, and he's going to have the green version, and he's going to have a black version that we're going to see a little bit later on. So there's Mustafa Ali again. So Andrea thinks that Billy looks good, Peyton looks meh. Well, that's just rude to say about Peyton Royce. Really? But yeah, I think they're basics. So yeah, I do agree with Vinny. Any accessory is always a good thing. Now here's one I'm really excited for: Sarah Logan basic. We can now finally complete the Riot Squad. It took us basically a year, but we can finally do it. There's the Mustafa Ali variant figure, the variant Chase. We can finally get the whole Riot Squad. Now, granted, 2 of them have had elites, 1 hasn't. So, and granted, it's the other way around as well. If we haven't gotten a basic version of Liv or Ruby Riot yet, but I'm sure we will. I'm surprised they actually didn't have them yet. And here's our black version of Drake Maverick, which I think looks really cool as well. It's nice to have this really unique piece of sculpt. I don't know if that chest is going to be a molded on piece or if that's like a removable piece of plastic. That we're going to have to probably wait for Ringside Collectibles discussion about the stuff. Let's see there. So this right here, this figure, this Baron Corbin, I hate this because I want to buy it because it looks really good. This is a basic Baron Corbin, and they just nailed that one. Like, he just looks so good. Again, all right, here's another really cool one too. We're getting an Andrade and a Zelina Vega. I think this is going to be a 2-pack, and Andrade comes with his white mask. This is the first time we've gotten Zelina Vega. We've had, I think now, this is I think our third figure of Andrade, but it's our first ever Zelina Vega, and I think she looks really cool too. So again, just like Megazord said, Toy Women's Revolution. And over here again, it's that blue AJ. I swear, like this is the exact same AJ that they put out like a year ago. I wish I could get it out of my collection, but no, it's the exact same AJ. I'm totally prove me wrong, please. I mean, I know it's probably not, but it's like the minorest little detail. But to me, it's almost identical. And there's that really cool broken kendo stick again. I want to get a better look at maybe there's some other photos out there. I want to see if it's actually like two separate pieces or if it's just one that is just like molded that way. Like I want to know if it actually breaks and you hit somebody with it. That's kind of what I want to know about it. So we're getting new basic Usos, which I think is going to most likely be a 2-pack. Here they are in their white puffy pants. For lack of a better term, white puffy pants. I don't really know what else to call them. Parachute pants? They're not those. We got a new Jeff Hardy basic coming out as well. I've been waiting for a good Jeff Hardy. I haven't bought any Jeff Hardys yet, surprisingly. And I think this is the one I might consider. There's another one that we're going to see later on that I think is really, really good. But there's some good Jeffs this year. Yeah, Megazord. WWE are really masters of reselling the same figure again and again, but that's just wrestling. I mean, how much can you ultimately really do? You can always just change tight colors. That's really about it. Case in point, and head sculpts. And case in point, here is a basic that I think is going to be really hot. This is Seth Rollins in his Infinity Gauntlet gear. Now, obviously, Hasbro has the rights to Marvel, so Mattel can't really do anything realistically real Marvel-like, but that's the best we're going to get, and I think that looks really great. Again, here's a look at that new Daniel Bryan with the new Daniel Bryan head sculpt. Killer head sculpt. And again, these are just basics. We're going to look at all the elites coming out soon, and there is going to be a new elite Daniel Bryan. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Now, here is Basic Series 100. Can you believe it? They've done 100 series. I think it's actually been 10 years, in fact, because I think they debuted these at Toy Fair 2009. So 10 years later, we get to Basic Series 100. And there's Undertaker. Here is The Rock with his sideburns. And just a quick note about Undertaker. I love that head sculpt of him. Like, I love the tongue sticking out. It's one of my favorite head sculpts. Like, they made it when they did Jax. I think that was the Elimination Chamber toy exclusive figure. I loved it then. I love it now. And I love the fact that we're getting a Rock with sideburns. Can't have too many of those. And Shawn Michaels. So Shawn is going to be the chase figure in Basic Series 100. So this is 1997 era Shawn Michaels, and this is the red pants version. And in a moment, we're going to see the chase version, which is the white pants with the zebra stripes. And I actually really, really like this figure. Vinny, which one do you prefer are the two HBKs? I personally dig this one more, but let me know which one you like better. Maybe this way we can each buy one, and we could ultimately share custody of our HBKs. Another look at Undertaker, and just again for anybody joining us, make sure to check out Toy News Eye, check out Ringside Collectibles as well, because they supplied all these photos. They get the exclusives. Make sure to check out any of these people whose photos we're borrowing from, because they did the work. And I'm not showing every single photo that they put out there either. So here we go. All right, this is like in the leagues of Baron Corbin for me. This is a new John Cena from Basic 100, and I want to buy it. I want this John Cena. And why do I want this John Cena? Because of that t-shirt. That is the shirt that I regret not buying when it first came out, and it's the retro gaming shirt that he has. I really want that shirt. I really want that toy. Brand new Steve Austin, part of Basic 100 as well, with white knee braces. Vinny, trivia question. When did he wear those white knee braces? I'm assuming that was like two-man Power Trip era. And random Alexa Bliss photo snuck in, so we're getting a new Basic Alexa Bliss. I'm trying to actually figure out when he wore those white knee braces, and I'm pretty sure that's like towards the end of his career, because that's when he started wearing the colored outfits, essentially. Like, not colored outfits, but colored knee braces. He had like gold knee braces for a little while. He had all sorts of different things. So I think that was like towards the end of his career, but you can let me know in the comments. So again, here's that John Cena, and you can see what I'm talking about with that shirt a lot better in this picture. I really want that toy. I really want that shirt. And I'm so happy that they made that. I mean, I don't know if they made that before. I guess they haven't. I always thought they did, but I guess they didn't. So I kind of need to get that figure now. Here's another look at the Rock. Basic 100 Rock figure. Now, I haven't seen it from behind yet, which is a weird thing to say. But I don't know if he has the die cut boots. I'm pretty sure he's going to have those because it's The Rock, and like every figure that he's had made of him always has the proper boots. So I'm going to safely assume that they've done proper toys in the past. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the same as well. So let's just fingers crossed they do. Yeah, Megazord saying the John Cena shirt came out like 2008. Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I don't think they made a toy of it. And yeah, it's about time. It's long overdue if that's the case. Yeah, I knew it was a long time ago, but I can't believe it's that many years ago. If that's true, man. That's old. I feel old now. Thanks, Megazord. So there's another look at the Austin figure, and Vinny has semi-confirmed it's from that era. I mean, it makes sense because Austin was trying to make things a little bit different, but he's a bald guy who wears black trunks. There's not much he can do differently, other than like growing in different facial hair. So that's our look at the basic figures. So let's go ahead and jump over to the elites that are on display. And I'm going to go ahead and looks like it's actually stuck on an older image. Let me fix that up real quick. So here you go. Here's so they had a few group shots of elites on display here, and this is one of them. This is basically like the Monday Night War diorama that Mattel had made, and it's really cool because there's like WCW guys in there, there's WWE guys. We're gonna come back to that photo. There's a lot more photos of that. So in addition to that diorama on display, they also had this one here, which is this is like more modern. It's like a backstage brawl in the locker room. This is a really cool set here. Just there you go. And there's our first reveal we're gonna talk about. We're getting the complete Stooges now. We're getting Gerald Briscoe finally, and that is a fabric outfit he's wearing. So you can remove that fabric outfit, and underneath it he's going to have wrestling trunks. So it's basically a 2-in-1 figure. And again, here's a look at that big diorama one more time. So Gerald Briscoe and Pat Patterson, that Pat Patterson has been so hard to find. And that's partly because of how they're distributing these figures now. And basically, if you want to get those classic figures, you got to go get them at Walmart. Getting them at Walmart, however, is a really tough thing to do, especially if you're like us and you don't live on the West Coast or like I think the South or Midwest even. If you're like us and you live all the way on the opposite side where their distribution trucks begin, you're not going to get much of anything at all. So, we haven't ever actually even seen half of these new figures that are like exclusive. We have not seen a Sherry. We have not seen a Bob Backlund. We've never seen that Pete Dunne that's in this photo here. That was a Target exclusive. Making these things exclusive, that just kills the market a lot. I hate that they're still doing it. I hate that they're sticking to that strategy, but eventually, hopefully, they'll change. Really cool here, by the way, if you take a look at that diorama, you can see Eddie Guerrero in the Wreckin' Slammobile. Really, really great touch. I love that little touch there. And this too is like so great. There's X-Pac and 6-Pac, and Hall and Nash are just like, yeah, I'm cool with this. This is fine. This is not a problem. I also just love that Stephanie McMahon is in the back there with the Undertaker dragging her away. So here is our first reveal. Big Daddy Cool is getting a new Elite figure, getting a new Diesel. And I just want to say a quick note, too. I forgot to add a photo of him in there, but you can see him. That is a new Jinder Mahal. I'm going to put a photo of him somewhere else, but there's a new Jinder Mahal Elite that actually looks very good also. Here is the exclusive Slim Jim Macho Man. That's an SDCC exclusive. We did order that from Entertainment Earth. We should have it hopefully very soon, so there will be a review of him once it arrives, so stay tuned. Brand new Asuka figure. She's going to have the headdress and a golden mask. Will she have the robe is the question. Because we saw Bill McKenna teased a robe at WrestleMania some time ago. That got pulled. Will this one have it? We'll have to wait and see. Here's a brand new retro style Vince McMahon figure, and that I'm very, very excited to get. That's going to be a definite must-buy. There's a lot of really cool figures this year, actually, that are coming out. They're going to be coming from that era that are more like administrative and less wrestlers. So, new Dolph Ziggler figure. Vinny thinks it looks like fake Diesel. If only. It could be, but I don't think it is. Here is Dolph Ziggler, and so Dolph is going to be the chase in that line. He has pink pants in that photo, but he'll have black in another photo you'll see later. Now here's the figure that Vinny has been dying to get his hands on. This is the Retrofest Mr. Perfect figure. It's from when he turned babyface, so he's got like constellations and stars on his outfit. It's very unique, very cool figure. Liv Morgan, we saw her a little while ago as well, but this is her official debut as part of SDCC, and that's going to be another must-have figure. I think that's actually a very, very, very good Elite figure. Tommaso Ciampa, we saw him as well at WrestleMania Access. So we're seeing him again. Basically, these figures are currently either out or about to come out, so we've seen these before, but I just wanted to include them here just because I think they look really cool to have again. Megazord wants to know where the toy gum from Mr. Perfect is. I think you have to supply your own, so you're going to have to chew your own gum and, make do with that, I guess. Unfortunately, no little gum accessory. So here's The Miz. again, these are on the market right now. There's Mustafa Ali. I think that's a really cool toy. Also, I think I'm not like marking out enough to get a Mustafa Ali figure just yet, but I think that's a really great figure, and especially side by side with that Ricochet, like those just look good together. And speaking of, like, this Ricochet is going to be like one of the hottest toys of the year, no doubt, for wrestling fans. I have not ordered him yet. I think I'm going to. I think it looks too good to pass up, and like the back of him as well. It's a really unique figure. They really tried hard. So here is a new Elite. We're getting a new Bobby Lashley. No Leo Rush, surprisingly, announced this year at all, but we're getting a new Bobby Lashley Elite. Wayne Brady on steroids. I think he looks pretty good, though. I'm pretty happy with this figure. Looks like he has a lot of accessories, too. A brand new retro-style Rock. Retro, for lack of a better word. He's going to layeth the smacketh down. He's going to have removable sunglasses, a SmackDown microphone, and the fabric t-shirt. Again, really cool figure. Sonya Deville, also another female Elite figure joining the line. I think that's like Ken Shamrock's robe that she's repurposed. They just cut the sleeves off, but whatever. It still looks good to me. And another basic snuck in there. We do have a basic Bobby Lashley. And he was also part of our predictions for SDCC, so Lashley came true. And here's that diorama setup again. See, I actually totally forgot that they made Sky Duhati. By the way, when I was looking at this photo, I was like, did they sneak Sky Duhati in there? I totally forgot they made him years ago. So, whatever. So now we get into the Ultimate Edition figures. And so they showed off 2 prototypes, but they also announced 2 additional ones. We'll show those in a little bit. So here we have the new Ultimate Edition figures, and we're starting things off with the new Finn Balor figure. So we're getting a Demon Finn. And, we were discussing this a while back, me and Vinny off camera. We were talking about like who we want to see as Ultimate Edition figures. We figured eventually they would make Finn Balor like this, but I was hoping it wouldn't happen so soon. And that's, don't get me wrong, I think this Finn Balor is a really great action figure. I'm still kind of torn on what makes the figure Elite versus Ultimate. To me, it kind of verges on Elite a little bit. Like, we're getting the extra heads, yes, but Elites now have additional hands, so that could have gone over with him. Basically, the main difference here is the entrance attire and the head sculpts. But, I mean, look at that here. It's like a little fabric swash thing. It's like, to me, this is not really Ultimate Edition worthy. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but that's just my opinion. I think it's still a great figure. I'm going to probably buy this. Because it's just a good Finn Balor, but Ultimate, not so much. And Megazord, yeah, the Pumpkin Demon Finn Balor. That's going to be like the holy grail, I bet, for Finn Balor toy collectors, since he didn't actually get to wrestle in that outfit. But yeah, I wanted him to get a toy of that as well. It's so sad that match got canceled because everybody got sick that week. That was a rough week for wrestling, folks. I really hope they make the Pumpkin Demon at some point. It's fun to say Pumpkin Demon, it really is. I'm with you on that one, Megazord. I want that Pumpkin Demon too. I want that Pumpkin Demon so bad. I can feel it. So again, Finn Balor, I like it, but again, you can see Nakamura behind him, and we just reviewed the Nakamura on this channel. We gave it a really high review, and we're reviewing the Bret Hart on Monday as well. You can see that video on Monday. I think to me, that's what I think of when I think of Ultimate Editions. This here, I don't think a Velcro sash across his waist cuts it as an Ultimate Edition. This is like borderline defining moments to me. I just, I don't know, but I still like it. Don't get me wrong. Now, here is one that I did predict. That was one of my number 1 predictions for this year was Undertaker or Triple H Ultimate Editions, and we're getting Triple H, of course. And this is him when he was WWF champion, because back then the F still was there. So this is like, I think early 2000s or like late 99 Triple H. He's going to have a few different heads, a few different hands. You're going to see a few photos of that right now as you scroll through them while I take a drink of water. Because talking is hard, especially when you've done it for already many, many hours today with all the news coming out. So we're getting 2 Triple H heads, and again, this one I kind of questioned a little bit because I was wondering how they were going to do an Ultimate Triple H. Would they essentially give him like clothes, pants? Like, would it be like that Attitude Era Amazon exclusive Triple H? How are they going to approach a Triple H? And so they went with Attitude Era. Vinny's saying that's SummerSlam '99, which you can find for. No, I don't think that was WrestleMania 2000. I'm pretty sure that Vinny's right on that one. It's 99. But we can double check. I know there's photos of it out there. You guys can figure that one out in the chat. But we're getting 2 different heads here. We're getting the Ooh head, which I like. It's Triple H's O face, and we're getting that really bizarre '90s hat that he wore. I love the hands too. He's getting two hands you could say suck it with, which I think is really cool. He's got the championship belt. He's got that chainmail on top of him. And he has the sledgehammer because you can't have a Triple H without a sledgehammer. So yeah, that's really exciting to look at. It's a good Triple H, don't get me wrong. I think it's a good figure again, but when you look at Bret Hart right behind it, I mean, which one do you think screams Ultimate more? And to me, Bret Hart says Ultimate more than this Triple H does. But again, I haven't bought a Triple H yet, except for like this one cheap one I got on Amazon. It's like it was a basic figure of him in his like early DX outfits, like the purple pants version. So I've been holding out for a good one. And all right, so Vinny's got it right. So it is 2000. All right, so you guys are correct. You guys have hashed it out, and Megazord is correct. Vinny, you need to take a swig of hot sauce. So that's a look at the Ultimate Editions. I want to talk about one other thing before we get into the panel reveals, and that's this right here. These, folks, this was a really, really big surprise review here. Let's go ahead and change this real quick to make my life a little bit easier. So these are the WWE Ghostbusters figures. This was kind of revealed during Ghostbusters Fan Fest last month. We heard they were going to make these, but we didn't hear any news beyond that. And finally at SDCC, we have the official reveal. So now we know what the deal is with these figures. So we're getting 5 Elite WWE figures, because those are Elite figures, and they are Ghostbusters. WWE and Ghostbusters. My mind is blown. I don't know about you, but my mind is completely blown at this moment. So we're getting, as you can see here, Shawn Michaels. There's a John Cena. There's The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Undertaker is the Ghost, which is very fitting, very cool. And you can see here, so some of them have fabric or plastic outfits. Those are, as far as I know, they're going to be removable. So these accessories will come off of them. And I think that also means that Pro-Time packs will be removable too. So, you can see Shawn is going to have the cap. He's going to have that plastic shirt thing that I hate. It'll come off. Cena's got the shirt. This is Austin, by the way. I love this Austin. He's from Texas, but he's wearing 4 layers. He's got on, you can see, he's got the Pro-Time pack on him. He's got the vest. He's got the flight suit. And then he's wearing a t-shirt underneath it. He is going to be so overheated carrying all that gear and everything. Like, I don't even get that one, but I love it. It's just so stupid. It's so good. Here's a better look at the Undertaker. So he will come with that translucent belt. Undertaker does not glow in the dark, nor do his accessories, but he does have translucent plastic, so if you know how to light this guy up, you could take some really cool photos with that. And yes, someone is coming with a ghost strap, as you can see there. And for those wondering, that diorama is not the Diamond Select diorama as far as I know, but they kind of hinted at it a little bit in another video, so I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, if you want a Zool Gozer rooftop diorama, get that from Diamond Select. Again, here's a look at some of these figures. I can't wait to get these, but guess what, folks? They're going to be Walmart exclusives, meaning I'll never get them. Yeah, Walmart, again, the bane of my existence. Yeah, I initially thought these might be like a 5-pack, and they'd be just like one gift set maybe on Ringside or something, but no. These are... They're going to be Walmart exclusives, which means I'm never going to get them, basically. So, hey, if anybody out there's watching and can get these things for me, let me know, because otherwise eBay prices are going to really, really hurt trying to find these guys, and I really want these things so bad. And I just hate how Mattel is distributing these things. Like, this store gets this store gets that, but the problem is these stores don't get equal distribution. And Mattel is aware of this problem. They've really done nothing to fix this. So, I don't know how I'm going to get these toys. They're probably like one of my top things to see this year at SDCC, and it just sucks that I'm not going to be able to get them easily. So that's our quick look at these guys. We did a whole other video all about them, but I'm going to go ahead now and jump over to, let's find them. Here we go. So today we're going to do a little bit more WWE figures, and we'll move on to something else. Today was the panel for WWE. So they brought in a bunch of wrestlers, they brought in the Mattel design team, and they showed off a bunch of 3D renderings. So we haven't done a video yet about this, but we're going to do that later on today. And yeah, everybody hates Walmart too, so I'm glad that I'm not alone in this. So thank you, chat, for validating my beliefs. So we're going to take a look at the reveals from the panel today. And some of these items were actually on display, but the majority of them are not. And you'll see what we're talking about in a minute. So here we go. Andrea, guess what? There's your 24/7 title. That is a 3D rendering of the 24/7 title. We don't know who it's coming with, but we know it's happening. So congratulations. We're getting the 24/7 title very soon. Very soon, meaning within a year, I guess. But it's happening. And we don't know who it's going to come with. I would hope it comes with R-Truth. Because my prediction was an R-Truth 24/7 title figure. I still have that firm belief that's what is going to be the case. So here is the new Adam Cole NXT figure. Adam Cole, baby. It's hard to do it when your throat's dead. Adam Cole comes with the North American NXT Championship belt. I didn't think they were going to make another Adam Cole this soon, to be honest, and especially not with that belt on, but that looks so good. I mean, I'm a belt collector, I'm a belt aficionado, so I think I have to get that. And again, same here, new Alicia Fox. We haven't gotten an Elite Alicia Fox, like, have we ever gotten one at all? I don't even know, but it's been a long time if she hasn't, and this one, she's got the wacky hat. I mean, this is a stellar Alicia Fox figure. Knockout. It's a fox. It's a foxy fox. All right, so there's that Asuka that we already saw earlier today. Andrea, which thing is so hideous? I assume you're talking about the 24/7 title, because if, yeah, all right, you are. Of course you are. That belt is hideous, but I do think it will come with R-Truth. I still have that firm belief it will. So again, here's the Asuka that we already saw earlier, just a better shot of it. I'll be getting this Asuka. There is nothing stopping me. And here's the Diesel again. So, Vinny, do you still think that this looks like fake Diesel? Because I'm pretty sure that looks to me like normal Diesel, but it's just weird seeing Kevin Nash young, I guess. That might be what it is. So many fringes on his pants, though. I mean, my God. So many fringes. So here is, again, the Dolph Ziggler. So this was on display. Yeah, Andrea, that should have been a Captain's hat with Alicia Fox. But, maybe she'll have more hat accessories. Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe she'll be a variant figure in that line. Who knows? All right, Megzord saying fake Diesel. Have we confirmed that it actually is fake Diesel then? Did Mattel's reps already say that? Because if so, I've missed it because I've been making videos all day, so I kind of missed any news. But if it is fake Diesel, I mean, that'd be cool too. It's a random figure to make, but hey, I'm for it. So here is, again, the other Dolph. So now you can see the difference between the outfits. And I personally prefer the pink pants. I don't know about you guys, but I think pink pants look way better than the black pants. So many wrestlers have black stuff already. I want to get more guys in like bright colors, so why not? Vinny thinks, yeah, fake Diesel too. So all right, hopefully we'll get an answer on that soon. As far as I know, it's just normal Diesel. Because these files are all from WWE's website, and they just called it Diesel. So until we hear otherwise, I'm just gonna call it Diesel. I'm not buying either way, so whatevs. And here is Don Morocco. He's gonna have the signature tie-dye tank top that we all know and love him for. It's a pretty good looking Don Morocco. He's not from my generation, but I think it looks really great. And this figure, again, one of my predictions this year, this is going to be the year of Drew McIntyre. Here is that Drew McIntyre figure, main roster figure with the Raw Tag Team Championship belt. I mean, wow, this is a good Drew. I haven't even seen the other Drew anywhere in any other Targets because the NXT lines are exclusive to Targets. Haven't seen him here because New York Targets are terrible. And same thing with EC3. I think this is going to be, speaking of NXT, a figure that I never see in New York. It's unfortunate because I think it's a really great EC3 figure. You can see he's got like a lot of good detail to him. Like when Mattel and specifically Bill McKean designs NXT toys, they go deep and they go hard. And stiff out the box. That's one for Tim if you're watching out there. Now this is the Finn I'm talking about. This to me is the Finn. This is the Finn I want to get. This is the Jack the Ripper Finn Balor from I think it's from NXT UK. This is the Finn I'm going to get hands down. No argument here. I've been waiting for them to make this particular outfit. I think it looks amazing. I love all the details about it. To me, this is why I say that the Finn Balor figure is not an Ultimate. That's, again, just my personal opinion. So now we're getting a Big Show. This is late 99 Big Show when he was a WWE, or WWF still, again, WWF champion. So we're basically rounding out that era of the, towards the end of the Attitude Era. This is basically like his feud from like Armageddon, or when he had the championship, his feud with Big Boss Man. This is essentially the Big Boss Man feud title. Big Boss Man feud figure. Who your daddy, Big Show? Daddy dead. Good toy, though. It's actually a pretty good toy. I actually might buy that because it looks pretty good. So here is a Jeff Hardy that I kind of like, but to me it also just kind of looks like doped up jerkbag Jeff Hardy. I don't know about you guys. I kind of like it, but I don't know if I like it enough to buy this one. Luckily, it's Jeff Hardy. There's going to be like 20 other Jeff Hardy figures, and you'll see a bunch as we scroll through this gallery. There is Gerald Briscoe again. We've already talked about him, but this is the official photo of Gerald Briscoe. I love that Briscoe Body Shop shirt also. Like, I kind of just want to get a shirt of that as well. Megzord is asking if EC3 comes with the original NXT logo on the microphone. I couldn't tell you if it's the original, but it does have the NXT logo on it. I can't quite tell you which one it is, though, because I wasn't really able to get a good look at that. So here is a more current Jeff Hardy. This is him. Like, this is actually really cool. I actually really like this Jeff Hardy a lot. This could be the one that I end up buying. Even though the body's a little weird. That's just how they sculpt him. But this one actually looks really good. I like the face paint on his face. I like the sleeves. I also like that he's got the little snot rag towel on his back. All right, here's that Jinder I was talking about earlier that I didn't get a shot of. That Jinder is on display right now in San Diego, and I think it looks really good. Like, this is his first Elite outside of the ring, I believe, because Jinder Elite originally came with the SmackDown ring. In this case here, this is like his solo figure, so I'll assume he comes with a turban as well, but don't quote me on that one. But he is coming with that championship belt, and I actually like it. Enough that I will wait for it to go on clearance to then buy it. Here we go with John Cena. This is a modern style John Cena figure, and he's got the crazy short hair. It's so weird seeing him like that still, but I'm down with it. I think it looks pretty great. Will I buy this one? I don't know. Probably not, but this one I think is going to be a definite buy. Here we've got Johnny Gargano in his Venom gear, essentially. So again, since Hasbro has the rights to Marvel, Mattel can't do a full-on Marvel thing. So this is the closest they can do to Venom and getting away with that without getting stopped and getting a cease and desist letter. And I think it looks really good. It's a really great looking figure. Another good one here, Cassius Ohno is going to be part of the NXT line. That's a pretty good looking Cassius Ohno as well. I don't really have much to say about this one other than I think this looks really good. He's going to have the fabric jacket. It looks like he's going to have that plastic sleeveless shirt underneath the jacket. Again, NXT figures, they put a lot of effort into. It's just unfortunate that most of us in the U.S. will never ever see these. So, Nikki Bella is getting what will most likely be her last Elite figures for quite some time, I would imagine. So, because I say that because Nikki is getting the Chase figure that you're going to see momentarily whenever that comes out. So I believe this is like Evolution style Nikki Bella, or around the time of the Evolution match, and that's actually what you're going to see here is a bunch of Evolution outfits. So I think that one might have been what she wore at Evolution, come to think of it. So we're going to see a lot of female wrestlers in their Evolution gear, which is pretty cool. But again, Nikki is getting the Chase, which to me says no Nikki's for a while, and I'm okay with that. I don't know about you, but I'm perfectly all right with a little bit less Nikki. Her and John Cena can go off and do whatever they're doing, alone or together. I don't care. Now, here we go. This one I've been waiting for a long time. New Paige figure. I first saw this Paige along with everybody else when they went to the UK a while back, and Bill McKenna unveiled that figure specifically for the UK. It's been a while since it came out, but this is good. I mean, they've been using the same Paige head for, like, basically every figure, so it's about time we got a brand new Paige. Very happy to see that. This Rey Mysterio, I think, though, it's, from the design he had basically like 10 years ago, essentially. To me, it's just a repaint and a reuse of the molds they made 10 years ago. Megazord, I think Nikki did retire recently as well for whatever reason. I don't know I didn't read what happened about that, but regardless, I think both Bellas are more or less done. I think maybe Brie might have like a little bit more left in her, but I think at this point they're probably, towards the end of their actual in-ring careers too. And they contribute a lot to it, but, time for the next generation to come on in. Now, here is a brand new Seth Rollins, Hounds of Justice Seth Rollins from the Shield with that IC Championship belt. I like this smiley Seth Rollins face. It's kind of charming. I think this is actually pretty fun looking Seth. Here is the worst figure that they've shown at the entire event. Blue Nakamura. I am so disappointed by this Nakamura. That smock he's wearing just looks like garbage. That is a trash Nakamura. They're reusing the same head that we've gotten already in like 3 other Nakamura figures, but now with a blue smock. Like, of all the things they could have done, this is the laziest Nakamura figure. Everybody's complaining about red Nakamuras. That Nakamura to me is just absolute blue trash. Not gonna buy it. It's gonna be a pegworm. That's gonna be like the ultimate pegworm. It's really sad that Nakamura is a pegwormer now. Again, another shot of that Vince McMahon. This is a really bad photo of that Vince, though. I think the head looks kind of terrible in this photo. But regardless, I'm just happy to get another Vince McMahon action figure. So there's a 3D rendering of the John Cena in that shirt that I really want to get my hands on. Like, look at that shirt and tell me you don't want that shirt. I won't believe you if you say you don't want that shirt. You'd be lying to me if you said you didn't want to get that shirt. And that smiling, derpy John Cena face, too. I just kind of like that, especially in this 3D rendering. You can see just how derpy he looks. Here's that Rock again. 3D rendering of the basic Series 100 Rock figure. We already talked about this. I got nothing else to say, guys, about these guys. But there's more elites after this. Don't worry. We're going to breeze through these basics and get back to the very cool elites and everything else that they showed off. Yeah, Vinny wants a Jesse Ventura figure. Good luck with that one, too. I mean, hey, they made Dom Morocco, so anything's possible. But, Jesse Ventura, that's a tough one. Because we know how Jesse is with his rights and his likeness rights especially. I mean, I'm surprised that NECA hasn't even gotten those rights yet to do any of that stuff, because if NECA can't get the rights to Jesse Ventura, there's no way Mattel can. Granted, Mattel has more money, but NECA does better work from the two guys. So I don't know. I feel like Jesse's a lot of money. I don't know if it's going to be worth the payoff. But then again, he is getting older. He's doing more appearances. Maybe he is starting to pull the reins back a little bit on his control of his likeness. Maybe we'll get more stuff with him on it. But have we even gotten a Funko Pop of Jesse Ventura? I don't even know if we've even gotten that. And the way I see it is, if you don't have a Funko Pop yet, you're probably not going to have anything else of yourself anytime soon. So just wrapping up the look at the basic 100s again. We already talked about these guys pretty in depth earlier, and we actually saw the physical toys. But after this, we should get on with more of the elites and a few other cool surprises, a few other new basics as well. So we're about a little more than an hour into the stream now, and just want to thank everybody as well for watching us tonight. If you're new to the channel, I hope you will subscribe and make sure to like this video, share it. We're going to hopefully do some more live streams over the next 2 or 3 days. There will definitely be more videos coming up because there's a lot more stuff I haven't covered yet. There's only so much I can do in a day, and I've only got so much voice before it dies. So please stick around and make sure to follow us on all the social media stuff. You can see it on that side of the screen over there. Go ahead and give us a follow. We'd appreciate it very much, and we're just really happy that you're here watching with us tonight. So again, here's that 3D rendering of Baron Corbin. Tell me that's not a good figure of Baron Corbin. I know everybody loves to hate him, and rightfully so, but that's just such a good toy. It's such a good action figure. It's like, I want it so I can have my other guys beat him up, right? Like, it's not the purpose of having a toy like this is just to have that one get, massacred by everybody else. So, hey, check it out. A new Carmella figure. We're going to get a new Carmella basic. She is Fabulous. Fabulous. I like this figure a lot as well. All she needs now is an R-Truth. And will she get one of those? Well, let's just wait and see. As if R-Truth is a possession to be held. But yeah, new basic Carmella, and it looks very good. Now here is the Drake Maverick again. So we saw him, a little bit earlier in this stream. I have to say the 3D rendering actually looks like shite. It looks really stumpy and silly as a 3D rendering, but we know the actual figure looks really good. Yeah, Megazord wants the Baron Corbin with less hair. That is a tough thing to do. They struggle with trying to produce less hair in toys. It's just hard for them to do, but yeah, I hope that they can get that technology somehow at some point to do that. So here is a surprise. So we're getting a Keith Lee NXT figure. Did not expect him to come out this quick. I feel like that's a really fast turnaround for this guy. And he has it looks like a new body as well. I'm pretty sure, a new sculpt, top to bottom. I didn't think we'd get Keith Lee this quick, but hey, who am I to judge? Here's a new basic Kofi. This is going to be the year of the Kofi figure as well, I'm pretty sure. This is a basic Kofi. I think it's going to probably be, if it's not a 3-pack, it's going to be a bunch of guys in the same wave, because yeah, we're getting the other members of New Day in these outfits, because you can't just get one New Day outfit. You got to get all the boys in their outfits. So stay tuned. We're going to have some images of those guys a little bit later on. Again, here is another one of my picks from our SDCC prediction video that we did with Vinny. I predicted a Lars Sullivan basic, because what the heck do you put with an elite version of Lars Sullivan? There's nothing. He comes with nothing. So here is Lars Sullivan. Again, this looks like a lot of new pieces to make him. It looks really good, actually. This is, again, another basic I would consider picking up. It's just so unique. And again, speaking of unique, here is another one of my predictions that came true, albeit in a different way. Here is a Matt Riddle NXT basic figure. So he is barefoot. That is the most important thing about this toy, is he is barefoot. I also have to say I really, really like that head sculpt on him. The tattoos look good as well. I really wish it was an elite, because he's a character that really needs that flexibility. And speaking of Carmella, here is R-Truth, the partners in crime, if you will. So R-Truth is getting a brand new basic figure. It's been a little while since he's had a figure at all. I think he had a 2-pack or something a while ago. But I think we're going to get another R-Truth. And I say that because, again, we saw that 24/7 title. I imagine that they haven't decided who it's going to go on just yet, but it has to go on R-Truth. He is the 24/7 title. Here is an Evolution-style Lita. This is based on her outfit, I believe, from the Evolution pay-per-view, which we actually went to last year at Nassau Coliseum. It was a lot of fun. The weird thing, though, is that her thong shows her belly button. I'm pretty sure that's not how thongs work. Any ladies out there can let me know if that's true or not, but pretty sure they don't work that way. Still cool to have her. Again, in that same outfit as Kofi, we have Big E. Smiley Big E. He's got pancakes on his pants, and probably some inside those pants as well. I don't think there's really any bad versions of Big E. I think he looks really great as a toy, and this is another one that I think is just really perfect. And by the way, Kofi comes with pancakes. That is a plate of pancakes you're seeing right there. Someone is getting pancakes. To me, this means like this toy should have been an elite, but it's not. So whoever's getting the pancakes, I don't know, but I mean, we're getting pancakes. That's really all that matters here. And there's Xavier with pancakes on his head. So funny thing too, I think, as far as I know Kofi's at San Diego right now. I know Xavier's at San Diego right now. I don't know if Biggie is there. I would assume he probably is. But yeah, at least 2/3 of the New Day are actually at San Diego Comic Con right now. So we're really missing out this year. It sucks, but that is the case. Now, again, this Xavier, it looks like it's just the same head sculpt he's had in the past. I really wish they gave him a new head sculpt. I don't know why they haven't yet. Again, back to the evolution. Here's a new basic version of Trish Stratus in her evolution gear from her comeback. I think this looks pretty good also. My concern is the mesh, because it's going to be painted on, and we know that Mattel can get lazy with their paint jobs. So I hope there's not going to be any weird smudges. All right, now here is an exciting one. We're getting Elite 2-packs. So we're going to get an Elite 2-pack. Here is AJ Styles with 6 different hands, and AJ will be in a 2-pack with Finn Balor. So we're getting a new Finn Balor figure. And oh yeah, that's right, Megazord. R-Truth and Carmella are supposedly at Comic-Con in disguise somewhere. I don't know, have you seen them yet? Have they been showing themselves off? I really want to know. So here we go. This is the Elite Finn Balor. It's going to come with that AJ Styles. I like this Finn a lot as well. I just love the face paint kind of coming off his face and on his chest as well. I wish more figures had that. We're also getting, I'm surprised we're getting this one so quickly. This is WrestleMania 35 Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe 2-pack. So we're getting Rey Mysterio as Mysterio. I don't know why it took him like this many years to finally do Mysterio, but we're getting it. And this looks really good. This is a really great looking 2-pack. The Mysterio is amazing, and you're going to see the Samoa Joe in a second. It's going to blow your socks off. They have finally made a brand new body sculpt for Samoa Joe. This has been my biggest complaint for the longest time with Samoa Joe figures, and Kevin Owens too. Just they don't have the stocky bodies right. This Joe, it's got a brand new head sculpt, brand new body. This is it. This is the one to get. Granted, it looks like a muffin top because it's got no nipples, but besides that, I think it looks really, really good. And this is a 2-pack I will be getting. And here you go. Here's a new Batista figure. This is a modern style Batista, it looks like, coming with another set of hands. You know, I was telling Vinny as well, we were probably going to get a Batista figure this year, and I'm happy to know that I was correct. And it's a good looking Batista. You know, we haven't really gotten to any Batistas because he's been retired. Last one we got was that Hall of Champions figure. Now we're getting a brand new one. And an Elite Becky Lynch, the man version of Becky Lynch. That sounds terrible when you say it that way, but this is Becky in her man gear. Comes with a different set of hands. I don't know what accessories she'll come with. I don't know if she'll have the belt or not, but I would hope this is going to have the belt in it. Buddy Murphy, the Cruiserweights are going to get some good treatment this year. They're going to get a lot of elites this year. Starting with Buddy Murphy. So he's going to have 2 separate hands, and the unique thing about him is his pants. If you check those out, that's actually molded like his ring gear, so it's got those like weird little tears and stuff in it that he has. It's a really good touch. Didn't expect him this year. So here is a Brood version of Christian. So a lot of people were thinking Gangrel was going to come out this year. I thought Gangrel was going to come out this year as well. But no, we're going to get Brood Christian. It's a very unique version to get of him. It's bizarre, but I do like it. And it has the goblet as well. And yeah, Vinny wants that. I know you want Becky, but you want the real Becky. You don't just want the action figure of Becky. I know what you want. Actually, that was Andrew who wants the Becky. Well, all right. Maybe Andrew wants that too. Who am I to judge? New Daniel Bryan. And we predicted this one. This is the Daniel Bryan with the Hemp Championship belt. So he's got 2 additional sets of hands and the hemp belt, which is going to be the reason why you buy this figure. And yes, I will be getting this figure. It just looks too good not to get. Another big surprise was Freddie Blassie this year. We're going to get a classy Freddie Blassie figure. And I'm a little unsure about what this figure is going to be, like how it's going to be packaged, because you're going to see in a moment another photo. And it's kind of weird that this one is shirtless, but when you see this other photo, you might understand like why I'm thinking this might be a 2-pack perhaps. I don't quite have all the information on this one just yet. But here we go, folks. Gorilla Monsoon. You know, again, the reason I'm saying 2-pack is because this figure here has like an extra suit. Maybe they swap out. I doubt it, but just my theory. And Megazord know that belt is not actually made of real hemp, but the championship belt was. So Gorilla Monsoon here. He's going to have 2 different outfits, different hands, the glasses, the headset. This is going to go perfect with the Vince McMahon, the Bobby Heenan figure that's already been out. You know, we're getting all the commentators. We do just need Jesse, like Vinny said. And again, here's one of my predictions. Lucha House Party. We're going to get now a Grand Metalik basic figure. So we're going to now be able to complete the entire Lucha House Party, as you'll see as we progress over the next bunch of images. So Lucha, Lucha, Lucha. I accidentally said Sin Cara on a different stream, but hey, all right. Here's another really, really big surprise, but not that surprising if you really think about it. We're getting a Shane Helms Hurricane figure. So I think they made a Hurricane figure like way back when with Mattel, like back when they first did the line. But we're getting a new one. I don't know if he's gonna have a cape or anything, but I would assume he's gonna have a cape. And Vinny's saying they're gonna do Blasey the way they did the Heenan. So all right, you thinking fabric clothes? All right, we'll have to see. All right, so here is Jim the Animal Neidhart. So Jim is getting a brand new figure. It looks like again another new body sculpt. It looks like it's a basic. Not entirely sure. It's a little hard to tell, but I'm going to assume it's actually no. Looking at the joints, it might be elite. It's tough to tell with these 3D renderings sometimes, but it's a really good looking Neidhart. It's kind of like from the mid '90s when he was with the Hart Foundation. It's a good figure, and you'll see his partner in a little bit. Here is again another one of my predictions. Kairi Sane. I cannot wait to get this figure. I'm a big Kairi Sane mark, and I love all the detail on this. I love that she's got the hat, she's got the steering wheel, she's got the hands. This is a really, really great figure. I need to get this one here. So many little... It's just like a bizarre, crazy outfit. I love that outfit. So we're getting a brand new Elite Kalisto, finally. It's been a little while since he's had an Elite also, I think. He had a big push a few years back, and then that kind of sizzled out. Or fizzled out, rather. And he hasn't had an Elite in a while. So now we're getting a new Lucha House Party version of him with the little scruffy beard. And I think this also actually looks really good. Like not being a big fan necessarily of those guys. I think this actually looks really good. And again, another lady joining the roster. We're going to get Lacey Evans. And that is a true lady joining the Mattel WWE figure roster. So Lacey Evans is coming soon to us. And she's going to have 2 additional sets of hands. I'm hoping that she has the little sailor's hat too to go with it. Or at least some kind of hat. I think she has to have a hat. That's just me. But, Lacey needs to have a hat. Come on. It's only proper if she's going to be a proper lady. Here is a Lince Dorado Elite figure. He's going to have, again, 2 additional sets of hands. What I think is most important about the Lince Dorado figure is that the mask is going to probably be used a lot by customizers. Like, this is now the perfect chance for them to make a proper Tiger Mask figure. And that's something, we're probably never ever going to see a real Tiger Mask figure from Mattel, but now we can at least customize really perfect ones. Here is a Mandy Rose. She's going to get herself, this is an Elite figure as well. She's going to get the Elite treatment. I would imagine that Mandy is going to probably be like a chase figure as well, if they're going to make Elites at this point still, Elite chases. I think it's safe to bet that Mandy will be the chase, because I don't think we're going to see a lot of Elite figures of her anytime soon, like beyond this one. And there we go. This one's for you, Andrea, and for me too, because I'm a Natty fan. Caddy Natty. Natalia Neidhart is getting a brand new Elite figure with cat ears on her head. Now, I don't know if those are removable cat ears. I don't care if they are or aren't. I just want this toy ever so much. It's great. I mean, I bought the last basic Natty they did. It was pretty great, but I think this one just knocks it out so much more. And again, using the True Effects head scans, it just looks spot on. Brand new Pete Dunne. So again, we talked about earlier that Pete Dunne and how, no one could really find him realistically. He's still like one of the hottest figures to get. And this looks like it's going to be a normal release of Pete Dunne. And hopefully it'll be way, way easier to get our hands on. And I'm also maybe thinking he might be a variant chase figure as well. Since, who knows how many more figures they're going to make of him too. And here we have a new Rey Mysterio figure. I really like this one. I like the tattoo detail. I like the pants. I like the whole ensemble. It's a very, very good Rey Mysterio figure. Wisefire says we're getting that. Oh yeah, I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of stuff that we're seeing here in this stream. Let's be serious here. We're getting a whole ton of wrestling figures this year. We're gonna be so bankrupt. Now here is one that Vinny and I predicted. This is, and I think it's actually maybe Vinny who had this one. This is the Rick Rude figure, based on his SummerSlam feud with the Ultimate Warrior. So he's getting 2 additional sets of hands. I would imagine he's gonna have the robe. He's got to have a robe, or at the very least he'll have an IC championship belt, because he was the champion at the time. So I think he's going to have something like that. We're getting a new Roderick Strong from the Undisputed Era. This one's kind of plain. I don't know how much to say about him, other than it's, we're getting a new Roddy Strong outside of the Undisputed 3-pack. That's fine. I mean, it's kind of a plain figure. It doesn't really scream much to me in terms of toyetic ability, it just is whatevs. I hope he comes with some other stuff that makes him kind of stand out a little bit more. So there we go. Another one of my predictions was we're going to get a battle-ready Ronda Rousey. This is a new Elite Ronda Rousey. I can't remember. I don't think this is her WrestleMania outfit, but it could be. But this is the Ronda Rousey in her actual battle gear finally, because with all the face paint and everything on. We got the Ultimate Edition, which is her in her initial ring gear. This is her later on when she started doing the face paint stuff. It's a really cool Ronda. Might not be for me because I got my Ultimate Edition Ronda, but it's a good one out there. A brand new Seth Rollins. I really, really dig this outfit. I dig these colors. They did that head sculpt too. I think that's going to be a new head sculpt for him. Just a little bit more of like a generic kind of, nothing going on in the face, but it looks pretty good. And he's going to come with 2 pairs of hands. Here we go. This Big Viscera. We're going to get ourselves a Big Viz figure. This is like the year of King Mabel. We just got King Mabel. Now we're going to get Big Viscera a little bit later on with 2 additional sets of hands. What more can you say about Big Viscera? Megazord is saying that it's SummerSlam 2018 Ronda Rousey. But Vinny says from the Rumble, you guys can fight over that one. I'm going to look at Big Viz a little bit more. And, alright, so I feel like we should compare this now to that Diesel from the beginning of the video. So here is Kane. This is going to be a Ringside Collectibles exclusive version of Unmasked Kane. So you can see here he's got alternate head. He's got the unmasked Glenn Jacobs face. This is actually a pretty cool figure. I kind of like it just for the Kane itself. I don't know how I feel about the rest of it. But, it's a pretty cool looking ringside. Now, alright, this is the big one, folks. China is getting an Elite action figure. This was a huge surprise that was announced today. China is finally joining the Mattel line. This is really huge. This is really great. And this figure looks really good also. I cannot wait for this one to come out. Whole new sculpt, top to bottom. They've nailed it. This is just like the perfect China. And I'm so glad they're finally doing this. It's long, long overdue. Alright, so here's Greg the Hammer Valentine as well. We're getting another vintage wrestler. He's reusing the body we've seen now with, I'm going to assume it's going to be on Gerald Briscoe and the body that Pat Patterson has. It's looking very good here. Oh, yeah, sorry. Megazord's correct. That is the Undertaker, yeah. And Vinny's got it, too. It's been a long day, folks, but that's the Undertaker as Kane. So thanks for the correction. So that was Greg the Hammer Valentine. Here is, this is a really unique look for Sting. He has this for like a little brief time. I always hated this look personally, but, it's cool they're going to do this version of him. You guys can tell me what year it's actually from. You know better. But it's that really bizarre time when Sting had short hair and was doing kind of like the crow thing, kind of, sort of. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's really cool they're doing it. Brand new Ultimate Editions were revealed as well. And we're going to get an Ultimate Edition Brock Lesnar for Series 4. That was a big surprise. And I mean, look at the size of this tree trunk of a man. I was not expecting that. I don't know what else will come with. I will assume he's going to have his other entrance gear stuff, but this is the Brock to get. You're not going to get a better Brock than this Ultimate Edition. This will be the Ultimate Brock. And we were actually talking about this one as well in our SDCC predictions. This is Shawn Michaels. Survivor Series 97, Montreal Screwjob Shawn Michaels Ultimate Edition figure. So Ultimate Edition Series 4 will be Brock and HBK. Why not? I'm surprised there actually aren't any other females in the line just yet. But, there's going to be plenty more figures. Also coming out soon, there's going to be an Elite Booker T. So again, Booker T is a guy, I think the last figure he had was that Target exclusive of him as King Booker. I want to say this is like WrestleMania 19 Booker, but I'm not entirely positive. Again, Vinny will probably know this, or Megazord might know this too. You guys in the chat can let me know, but we're going to get ourselves a brand new Elite Booker T. And here's one for Andrea, because I know she's out there. She's the Kofi mark. There is going to be a brand new Kofi figure, and that's a brand new head sculpt to go with it. And I like this one a lot. Like, this is going to probably be the Kofi to get. Just look at that paint detail in its pants, especially. It's Matt Hardy, Woken Matt Hardy. And I think, again, this might be from WrestleMania when he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. So, again, I don't have a Matt Hardy figure either, just yet. And I think this is the one I want, especially since they're not going to make the Ultimate Deletion 2-pack with Bray Wyatt. I think this is the Matt Hardy to get. This right here is up there with Blue Nakamura as like one of the worst reveals they made. This like garbage Mick Foley figure. Like Hobo Mick Foley is what I'm calling this one. I think this is from his match with Randy Orton, I want to say. But, this looks terrible. Everything about this just looks terrible. The head sculpt's terrible. This is a bad figure. Please don't make this. And another big surprise, Danny Davis is getting a figure. The wrestling referee, Danny Davis, which means we might see another version of him with the actual wrestling suit he wore, the big fake muscle suit. But, I'm more excited that we're going to get a vintage-style referee, so that, you've got Gorilla, you've got The Brain, you've got Vince now in the retro outfit, you've got a lot of retro guys. Now you've got a referee, finally. So, that's very cool. They're really fleshing out that entire retro thing. And now we're going to go ahead and make our final look at WWE figures. And this right here, folks, is what made my brain explode earlier today. WWE Masters of the Universe crossover. So we're going to talk about this next, I think. Masters of the Universe figures are coming out from Mattel. They got the license back, and they are going all in with this. This is just a bizarre, wacky line. I'm kind of speechless again. uh, its Sting is colossal. I mean, come on, this is really great. So Mattel got back the Masters of the Universe line. It all looks really, really cool. And they're doing WWE crossover figures. And so we've got Sting. We have Triple H as like the Skeletor type villain here, with a sledgehammer and the Skull King outfit. He's got a cape too. I just realized he has a cape. How silly is this stuff? So yeah, it seems that this the kind of the downside of this is that there was no announcement of retro figures. You might have noticed there's no retro figures that we showed at all today. There's Finn Balor. It looks like retros might be dead. I hate to say it, but it looks like retros are done, because I would imagine that they've now moved on to doing these Masters of the Universe style figures, and that really sucks because we love those retros on this website. We know a lot of collectors out there love the retros, but if that's it, then that just sucks. I mean, granted, these are pretty great figures. I just hate to see them choose one over the other. But again, it's tooling costs, and you gotta do what you gotta do. But again, I'll probably get these because these are just really wacky, really silly. And there's a Castle Grayskull wrestling ring. I'll say that again. There's a Castle Grayskull wrestling ring. Your eyes do not deceive you. I want that ring. And again, I love this. Has got to be a rib because this is based on Terror Claw's Skeletor. This has got to be terrorizing Triple H. Like, there's no way this is not terrorizing Triple H. So again, these are the He-Man style figures, but unlike the original He-Mans, these have way more articulation. You'll see in other photos, like the knees have joints, the elbows have joints. They don't have the stupid rubber bands in them, which is like the best news of all. Again, I love the tongue-in-cheek quality of this stuff here. This John Cena figure, looks like a translucent axe and shield because you can't see him. You can't see him. What's not to love about these stupid figures, really? I want all these, and I hate that I want them. And this one I love too, because it's so stupid. We're getting John Cena as Faker as well, because of course we are. So we're getting Faker. He's going to have Word Life brass knuckles, I guess, to go on his hands. I mean, this is just so stupid, but it works. And yeah, Wisefire, that ring is gorgeous. This whole line is just so good, and I hate that I want this whole line, especially if it did end up replacing the retros. Macho Man at Arms. Not only is this Macho Man, but it's also like Battle Armor He-Man parody, essentially, because it's got the 3 different chest plates you could swap out. It's Macho Man at Arms. What? Are you kidding me? What is this? Did Don West make this up? Are we in some kind of alternate reality right now? I don't even know, dudes. I don't even know. And finally, Stratos as Rey Mysterio. Another very, very cool one to get. And, man, I hate that these are actually really good. But again, it looks like we're not getting the retros anymore. We're going to have answers, I think, in the next day or two for sure about what's happening with the retro series. But if that's it after Series 10, I mean, it had a good run, but it clearly could have gone on way longer. So, and of course, this is our grand finale, Roman Reigns as Fisto. Because, of course, he's Fisto. He's got the Superman punch. He has to be Fisto. Like, is it just me? Does anybody else out here love these things? Because I'm speechless. I'm just beyond speechless, folks. This is the dumbest thing ever, and I love every minute of it. So that's our look at the WWE toys. We're going to go ahead now and let's talk about the He-Man toys, since we were just talking about them for a little bit. So I'm just going to let these play out for a bit and discuss some other things about the He-Man toys. So we're going to look now at Mattel's Masters of the Universe line. So first up, what you're going to see here for the next bunch of photos is their Mega Constructs line. And Mattel is really expanding this line very, very heavily. So you can see here there's Prince Adam on the Sky Sled next to a Beast Man. There's Point Dread with a Talon Fighter. I'm a big He-Man guy, and I like how these look, but I'm not going to buy any of these guys anytime soon, so I'm going to probably just kind of talk over these for a bit. But, Mattel essentially lost the license for quite some time. More or less gave it up and just let Super 7 play with it for a while. So for the past few years, after Mattel finished up their Matty Collector run on Masters of the Universe, they were like, whatever, Super 7 got it. And Super 7 then started continuing the Masters of the Universe Classics line, and also started doing their own style of retro figures. So, for whatever reason, Mattel this year has decided to get that license back, most likely because there's going to be a new live-action movie coming out next year, so Mattel is wanting to capitalize on all of that. So Mattel got the license back, and they've unveiled a whole brand new line of He-Man figures. And that's Masters of the Universe Origins. So we're going to see photos of those toys in a little bit. We just got to get through this Mega Constructs stuff a little bit first. In fact, I'm going to see if I can speed this up a little bit to make all of our lives a little bit easier. So you can see in the back there is Skeletor's Panther. I believe it's Panther. I want to say it's Panther. I always forget the name of Skeletor's Battle Cat knockoff, if you will. So it looks like it just restarted itself, actually. All right. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and make a real quick little edit here, folks. Just gonna go ahead on the fly, just delete a bunch of images because I don't really want to talk about these at the moment. I kind of want to get into the Masters Universe Origins. I think that's why we're all here as well to see these guys. All right, here we go. So Masters Universe Origins, these are 5.5-inch figures that are done in the style of the vintage Masters Universe toys, but with more articulation. And you'll see here what they debuted on night 1 was a few more Mega Constructs photos. We'll get through those pretty soon. What they debuted on night 1 was He-Man and Skeletor. So in fact, let's see if I can actually get through to those right now. So they debuted He-Man and Skeletor. You can kind of see them peeking out on the top of the moment there. You have to bear with me, folks. My first time, again, streaming live like this, so there's still some bugs to be worked out. All right, I guess I'll have to sit through it again. So we've got ourselves a He-Man, Skeletor. I've said it a bunch of times. What's important to note is they've got some big plans for this line, and you can kind of see that already because we've seen the WWE figures. And so we've clearly now seen parts for a Clawful, for a Fisto, for Man-at-Arms, for battle armor versions of guys. They've got the... You saw that John Cena Faker had that weird mace club thing. That is basically what Spycore had. So we've got all these different weapons that they're using that are clearly from the original line that they're going to be bringing into this Origins line at some point. So, you know, again, these are going to be probably pretty affordable figures too. I imagine these aren't just going to be for collectors. They're going to be for kids to play with as well. They're going to try and make this very similar to what Funko's been doing with their Savage World line, making affordable, playable action figures, but they're Mattel. They're going to do it a lot better. Finally, here we go. There is Skeletor in all of his blue glory, and you can see now all the POA on him. He's got elbows, ankles, knees, the waist, the legs. This guy can do a lot of things. There is He-Man. So again, what I like about this too is that you can tell it is kind of more like the original toys because look at his belt. It's not painted separately. It's not like separately painted gemstones or anything. It's just one solid piece. That's it. Like, you know, the details being kept to a minimum. That's the way it should be. Now here is the packaging, and you can see that, again, the packaging is very similar to what we've had from the previous Masters Universe toys. You know, they've kind of kept that throughout all the line. It's looking mighty fine. There's Skeletor again. So what are you guys at home thinking about with this Masters Universe Origin line? I think they're looking pretty great. I'm pretty excited to see these guys. I spent a lot of money on the Masters Universe Classics series from Matty Collector. I get the feeling I'm going to end up doing that again here. I love that Skeletor. Skeletor does not make for bad toys. It's very plain and simple. He always looks good to me. I just got breaking news from Andrea, by the way. We'll have to cover this a little bit more tomorrow, but Barbie has done some Marvel stuff officially. Barbie has gone in the direction of Marvel. We're going to get Mystique, Storm, and Dark Phoenix Barbie dolls. OMG. That is some big news. So I think tomorrow that's going to be what we have to cover. I did not know Barbie was going to do anything with Marvel, so that's actually really cool. Again, here's another look at the He-Man figures. So, yeah, all right, well, Vinny's out of here. So thanks for watching, Vinny. Appreciate the time. So that's our He-Man Origins. We're going to look at the She-Ra dolls as well now real quick. So you can see here, She-Ra is getting a whole new line as well. This is based on the Netflix series, She-Ra, Princesses of Power, or I believe that's what it's called, whatever it is. So we're getting a whole new line of She-Ras. And, you know, Andrea and I had actually talked about this in depth on another video on our channel, which was the ultimate flub that Mattel had made with their WWE Superstar Girls figures. WWE Superstars figures, oriented for girls, that is to say. You know, and Mattel is also doing the DC Superhero Girls characters. I think what we're seeing here with the She-Ra line is the perfect marriage between everything. Because you can see there is a lot of joints here. There is rooted hair, there's fabric outfits, but there's also plastic elements to these things. I think this is like the perfect marriage between playability, between being a fashion doll, between being just a doll itself. I think these look really great. There's Glimmer. And the other thing is, too, is that they look more like dolls. They do actually look kind of like, almost like a throwback to the original dolls that I know like Andrea had as a kid. They're very similar to that. Here is Swiftwind and Bo. And again, you can see what I mean. Like, Swiftwind is just one piece. He's not like a Swiftwind articulated horse. It's just that one solid horse. It's pretty cool, though. I think it's a really great throwback to get these guys out here. And they do look very good. Am I going to buy these? No, they're not for me, but I think they still look cool. And I do like this little bit of attention to detail in that Princess Adora is smaller than She-Ra. She-Ra in the show is like enormous, so it makes sense that her doll should be larger. Megazord thinks they kind of look like brats. You know, that's a common thing we've heard. And there's the She-Ra figure itself again, the She-Ra doll. A lot of people compare the DC supergirls to brats as well. I mean, there's like brats-like qualities to them. I can definitely see why people say that, but I think these are way better than the Bratz dolls. I mean, I think the Bratz dolls were, let's face it, they're kind of trash. To me, these actually look very, very good for what they are. So that's the He-Man Origins, but I have one other special update to show because I didn't show this earlier, and this was released today because there was 2 other figures that were behind He-Man and Skeletor on that shelf that were not revealed yet. And earlier today, they were finally revealed, so we have now 2 other figures that are going to be part of the launch to the Masters Universe Origins line, and that is Evil Lyn and Teela. So we're going to get 2 females to kick off the launch, and that's pretty exciting news as well. They're going to have, as you can see there, Teela's got her battle armor, she's got her staff, her shield. Evil Lyn has the scepter. I call it scepter. What's a scepter? She's got her, let's call it a wand, and we'll call it even. How about that? They both look really good, and it's nice to know they're putting out the ladies first. I think they were part of the original line anyway when it first launched because they were essentially just almost like recycled bits anyway. And you could see the outfits here are kind of like recycled, so it's fairly easy to make those figures as part of the launch. But they look really good. I'm very excited for this line. I'm excited for the potential, for the future of what this is going to mean for Masters Universe as well. It's going to be a good time to be a Masters Universe fan in 2020. Let's just say that. A lot of new toys on the way, a movie on the way. It's a big, big year, and San Diego Comic-Con kicking it off the right way. All right, folks. It's getting a little bit late here, so I think we're going to wrap this up with, I think, 1 or 2 more things, and that'll be it for the night. Let's see, what do I have here? I think we're going to just talk a little bit about NECA. Let's just do that, I think. Because my voice is slowly dying. I've got a long day ahead of us. Oh, hey, let me put my head in here, too. Hey, there I am. I'm enormous. Let's go ahead and shrink my head down. I'm just going to go ahead and shove me over here for a second. There we go. So this is NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, TMNT figures. Let me just make another quick adjustment here as well. So we're on the fly. So Andrea is saying that she was waiting for those Teela and Evil Lyn figures, and she looks forward to comparing the original figures to the new ones. I agree. We should totally do that. We are going to do that. So here are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures from NECA. This year, man, they went hard. They went big with Ninja Turtles. We are huge fans of their work, and this is no exception. So NECA has unveiled a bunch of new foot soldiers, number 1, and that's a pretty big deal. There's going to be a foot soldier or foot ninja, whatever you want to call it, Ultimate Edition figure, which I imagine is going to be 2 different figures in there. You'll see why I'm saying that a little bit later. So you can see here a few of the different weapons. So we're going to have a Foot Clan guy with a fan. He's going to have a new sword, a new weapon. They're also going to have a bunch of new heads. So you can see here most of these guys have a little red foot on their foreheads. There's going to be another version with a yellow foot on their foreheads. We also have this version over here, which is like a respirator mask or something. It's like basically their mask being pulled back or whatever. I couldn't tell you what episode it's from, but it's just a really cool alternate head. And you can see another version over here with the police hat on. But most importantly, we're getting new turtle figures with their original toy-style colors. And hey, look who's right next to the foot soldier, April O'Neil. We're finally getting April O'Neil. So yeah, here's another look at that Raphael figure. He's going to come with that skateboard and the pizza. And by the way, these are all still 2-packs. So I really couldn't tell you who's going to be packaged with who, but they are still doing the 2-pack thing. These will be still at Targets. We're still a long ways away from these guys coming out, unfortunately. But they'll be on the way soon. Soon meaning 2020. They'll be on the way eventually. Let's just put it that way. That's probably a better way to phrase it. here is April O'Neil again. She comes with a microphone, her turtle communicator, her video camera, and a ransom note. Because, you gotta have a ransom note with April O'Neil, right? It's just logical. But this is like a really good April O'Neil. This is, I think, the figure that everybody's been waiting for since this line was announced. And this is not a disappointment in any way. This is a really perfect version of April O'Neil from the cartoons. I mean, she's got the banana jumpsuit. Really, once you have that, you're done. Another one that I'm very, very excited for, Casey Jones. So Casey Jones is going to have, looks like 5 different weapons that he's going to come with. The sculpt looks great. The articulation looks great. And by the way, check out that pizza by his foot, the big one. We'll talk about that a little bit more coming up. But yeah, Casey's got a hockey stick. He's got a baseball bat. I think it's probably there's a tennis racket back there. It's most likely a cricket paddle somewhere over there. Like, this is the iconic Casey Jones with all the stuff that we love and want with a Casey Jones figure. New Michelangelo, and for those of you out there who have not collected these figures yet, yes, those chains are metal, so he can actually swing them around. And by the way, the pizza on the bottom left, take a look at that. That is a sardine and ice cream and pepperoni pizza. That's totally what Michelangelo would eat, and I love that they made that. Here is Rocksteady now, and you can also see I think it's a Mouser coming out of the ground there with the new Leonardo, and also a Battle Damaged Foot Clan. Now, Bebop and Rocksteady have already come out, but the Battle Damaged Foot Clan is new, the Leo is new, and here's a better glimpse of, you can see again, it's a better glimpse of Rocksteady, but really what you want to take a good look at is the Mouser droid. That's really, really great looking. I'm loving that. And you'll see another photo coming up. There's another character joining him. So here's a better look at that Battle Damaged Foot Soldier, as well as the Leonardo figure. I already own the Ninja Turtles that NECA did. I don't know if I'm going to buy them again. I probably won't, but I do like these colors, to be quite honest. It's enough to almost make me want to buy them again. So here is Donatello, and joining him is another Battle Damaged Foot Clan guy, a different Battle Damage, I believe. But here is Rodney. There's a Rodney droid, or robot, whatever you want to call it. But he is there. He's got a little thing for his tire, some smoke effect coming out of it, which looks very good. And I've been told, you really can't see in these photos, but he actually has a hole in the top of his head, so you could drive Raphael's sai through his head. That's pretty cool. Megazord is saying that there's a TMNT crossover comic with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I did hear about that, actually. I haven't read it myself, but I heard about it. I'll have to check it out sometime. All right, everybody, take note of this diorama here. We've got a bunch of new reveals, and there's a lot of Easter eggs in this particular photo. We're going to look at them throughout this piece here, but we've got now a good look at Leatherhead, Slash, and Metalhead, which was a grand debut, and here he is. Now, I really gushed over him in my video earlier today, and rightfully so. Metalhead is one of my favorite Ninja Turtle figures ever, and NECA has killed it with this toy. This is a must-buy. This is an immediate purchase when it comes out. I will pre-order this. I will do whatever it takes to get this Metalhead. You do not want to see what I will do to get this Metalhead. It will not be pretty. But this figure really is pretty. I wish I could see the back of it, unfortunately. Nerdstalgia asking when the April cartoon figure is coming out. I don't have an exact date, but I believe it's going to be, unfortunately, some point in 2020. It's going to be a bit of a wait. So here is Slash. They're also going to be doing a video game version of Slash with a different head sculpt and different paint deco. You can see he's got the 2 swords, the different guns. It's a pretty cool figure. And there's a little Easter we're going to talk about a little bit later on. Here is Leatherhead. He's got a bunch of accessories. But we've seen Leatherhead before. But what I really want you guys to take a look at is in the background there. Look what's on those tubes. Baby pizza aliens. Does that mean we're going to get the pizza aliens as figures at some point in the future? I would say yes. And again, speaking of Easter eggs, this was one from Pixel Dan and his coverage of the NECA booth. That viewfinder, essentially, that's in the Technodrome there, it has rotating images. And check out who's in the back there. I believe his name is Stegron. And again, this might be a sign of a future toy to come. And another Easter egg, I don't know if this will actually be included with any of the figures in the future, but there's Baby Slash. There is Slash as the baby turtle. He's got the palm tree, the slice of pizza. He's incredibly adorable, but I don't know if they're going to actually package him with the toy or not. We'll have to wait and see on that one. And this right here is the biggest Easter egg. This is Krang, and he's got a blueprint for someone rather familiar right there, you might notice. So does that mean we're going to get Krang in his robot body? I think so. And it's going to be really cool because it's going to probably be in scale with like Ed 2 and I and all the other figures that they've already done in that scale. So that's pretty awesome. So anyway, let's look at one other thing while we're here tonight, because I have it up. Oops, not that one here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some Game of Thrones stuff real quick. So, not Game of Thrones, some McFarlane Toy stuff real quick, because I haven't done a full-on video about these guys just yet. So McFarlane Toys is again continuing to go deep with Fortnite. We have a whole bunch of Fortnite figures here. This should move a lot faster. I don't know why it's not moving as fast as it was a moment ago. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, so we're back. Had a little brief technical difficulty there. Just wanted to take care of something real quick. So there's a whole bunch of Fortnite toys again. And McFarlane Toys, one thing that they've really improved on this year and in the past few years is their articulation. You can see here they're bragging about 22 points of articulation. That's no joke. These figures are really pretty good. And someone who doesn't play Fortnite like myself is actually very interested in these. So they're clearly doing something right with these guys. So yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't tell you who these guys' names are. I could see part of his name right there, but I'm not even going to try to fake it. Let's call him Wildcard. I'm going to go with that because that sounds like a name of a Fortnite character. Why not? We have reviewed some Fortnite figures before. We took a look at the Jazzwares Fortnite figures, in fact, on this channel a few months ago. We really enjoyed them. But these McFarlane ones, they're really in a league of their own. I mean, the sculpting is great. The scale is much better, too. I think I like them better at this size. You can get a lot more detail in them. And again, here you can really see, like, these are really playable figures from McFarlane Toys. The joints being as exposed as they are, to me that kind of says like these are meant to be played with and not necessarily just hung up on a wall or left in box. Here's Dark Bomber. These just look really good. It's almost tempting to buy a few of these because again, much like Overwatch, these Fortnite character designs are just very, very unique to me. I think they look really, really cool. I'd like to get my hands on some of these guys. Excuse me while I take a drink. And there's a new vehicle coming as well for Fortnite. And again, to anybody that's new to this channel who's watching tonight and chatting with us about San Diego Comic-Con 2019, thank you for watching. Please give us a like for this video and subscribe to the channel because we're going to be doing a lot more SDCC stuff through the weekend. So be here for more live chats, for more video updates. We'll be doing a ton of stuff, so we definitely want your support, and we appreciate you being here tonight watching and chatting with us. So I think we're just about done with the Fortnite stuff after this image, and we're going to go into some other things. After this one, actually. So yeah, another glider. I think we actually saw this one at Toy Fair as well, but now it's out for the public to see, because back then it was, closed door show. This time now the public has a good chance to walk around this whole guy and see it. And I gotta be honest, this would look good with any other figure in that scale. It could fit with a lot of other toys. And that is an invisible, or not invisible, but translucent base behind it. So alright, here we go. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter. This is now the first public look at these figures. These are images from McFarlane Toys. So this is Harry Potter from the Deathly Hallows with his Patronus. And they haven't really done too many figures of the adults. I think NECA did the Harry Potter license some time ago, but they haven't really done much with it since then. And this is going to be a little bit of a mishmash. Here you can see Eleven and Hopper from Stranger Things Season 3. So far, they've only announced those two figures from Stranger Things. I'm hoping that they'll announce a few more at least, but that's still to be determined. I wouldn't mind a Harry Bauman figure, or Barry Bauman figure rather. There's a lot of things they could do still with Stranger Things, and it's a little disappointing that they've only announced those two so far. Here's Hermione Granger with her Patronus. These head sculpts are looking very good also. The one thing with McFarlane Toys is you never have to concern yourself with the head sculpts. They're always going to be good, no matter what they do. Case in point, Hermione Granger. And I love that her Patronus, which is, I think, an otter. I love how good these things look. And there, finally, we've got Ron Weasley with his Terrier Patronus. Just, again, killer sculpts and a lot of articulation here. You can see, again, McFarlane has really improved over a critique that they've had for many, many years, which is like the lack of articulation and the lack of posability, or more so that the figures were stuck in like one pose. But here you've got a lot more options, and case in point, Mortal Kombat figures, which are coming out this October. The Mortal Kombat toys have a ton of articulation. I think there's probably a few more that they're going to reveal during the show, but here is Scorpion real quick. Look at the number of accessories he has. Look at the number of articulation points. Again, like this is a fully articulated toy meant to be played with, meant to be posed, meant to be used for figure photography. And best of all, only $20. I mean, you look at like Storm Collectibles and their figures, which are amazing, but they're like quadruple the price of these guys here. if McFarlane can keep this up and make some good quality figures at this price point, I mean, man, they will rule the toy world one day. Here is a look at Sub-Zero. Comes with a bunch of accessories. And once again, we're sourcing photos from a lot of different websites here. We've left the watermark on all of our pictures. So we do recommend that you guys check out these places if you want to see more photos. Because we didn't take every single photo from their galleries. We just took a few select ones because we don't want to take everything these guys shot. So in this case, check out Toy News Eye, check out Toy Arc, check out Ringside Collectibles, Newsarama, a few other sources from places, Marvelous News. Do check them out if you like the images that you've been seeing tonight. And go there to get a better glimpse of what's going on. And yes, Andrea, the Harry Potter stuff is so good. I haven't found any photos yet of them like at the show just yet, so I just unfortunately only got those stock photos. But, you know, again, we saw those at Toy Fair, but they were under lock and key. Like, you really couldn't take photos. You could look at them, but it was like, you know, kind of like a quick, like, look, and then they had this, like, blinding thing they put on top of it, so you could look at it again, a big, like, piece of fabric. So, you know, we got to see it, but no one else did. And, you know, it's been a long time coming. Those are toys that we very well are going to probably buy. One of us is going to buy those, huh? Yeah, probably me. Another look at Sub-Zero. So I believe Diamond Select also has a Mortal Kombat license now, but don't quote me on that. I'd read something about that. So I think like tomorrow or Saturday they're gonna like start unveiling some of that stuff too. So we'll know in the near future. But yes, there's a few other things from McFarlane Toys that we definitely wanted to show you guys tonight. In particular, there's, you know, I think we might have one or two other photos of Stranger Things, but there's one other big reveal, and I'll probably cut this this part short for the night until I organize these things. But yeah, don't worry, I will do a more in-depth video, most likely tomorrow, on everything that's in the McFarlane Toys booth, after I get a little bit of rest. Alright, actually, here's a Harry Potter photo, but it's a terrible photo, unfortunately. I don't know why they shot it from this angle, like, you can't even see his face at all, but whatever. We do see he's got a base, so that's cool. But yeah, we're going to do a more in-depth video about these guys tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I'll have hopefully some better photos as well of the Harry Potter toys. But yeah, it's cool to know they do have bases. Here's a Borderlands figure. That's fun. I don't play Borderlands, so I couldn't really tell you much more about that, other than it's there. Let's see if I can actually... let's do something real quick technical here. I'm going to go ahead and try and find this particular image I want to show you guys. Oops. Alright, well, there's one other figure I wanted to show you guys from McFarlane, but you're going to have to wait till tomorrow, unfortunately, for that, because I can't find it at the moment. But we've already been at this for almost 2 hours, so I think at this point we should probably call it a night. And, you know, we got a lot more work ahead of us. So, on that note, I'm Matthew from Nerd News Today. Thank you guys for watching. There's so much more to cover. This was only day one. We've barely even got into more than news, because we spent so much time looking at the toys. But, you know, tomorrow we've got a few more toy things to look at, and we'll be able to get a lot deeper into the news, because there's a lot more comic news we didn't discuss. There's been movie news. We've got a whole bunch of things that happened, and there's only so many hours in the day, unfortunately. So tomorrow we're going to get back to that. There's going to be a lot more things to discuss. I hope you'll be here with us again when we continue this stream. So if you haven't already, please give a subscription to our channel. Press the subscribe button. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. And just be here with us as we do this whole SDCC craziness for the first time ever doing it live. You know, we're not at the showroom floor, and I'm assuming neither are you guys. So, you know, let us know what you want to see as well in the comments. Tell us what you want us to cover. We'll try and fit it in tomorrow night as well. You know, it's overwhelming. It's a big year for San Diego Comic-Con. It's a pretty overwhelming year. You know, I feel like last year was a little bit smaller in some ways. This year, for whatever reason, there's just a lot of big announcements. I think that's because 2020 is going to be such a big year for things happening, with a lot of big movies coming out. And, you know, really 2019 is the year of things ending. 2020 is the year of big stuff beginning again. So stay tuned. That's pretty much my advice for now. So as for me, I need to rest my throat because I'm about to die. And I need to rest because tomorrow is another big long day of more video making and more news coverage. So until then, I'm Matthew from Nerd News Today. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate your time, and I, of course, appreciate the likes and the subs. So we'll see you guys here tomorrow, bright and early, with some more San Diego Comic-Con 2019 news. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.